let's see if the late ones chats have started, and they already did. Damn it. Okay,
Of course they are.
Uh, hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Honored Ones podcast, the most punctual podcast on Earth. How we all doing on this fine evening, everyone? Um, Punctual, I hope. You're here, we're here, and that's what's most important. In fact, that's really the big
Over or
takeaway.
under on me sounding like a robot. Creams, what do you think? I say I don't sound like a robot today. Today doesn't feel like a robo day for me.
It does not.
Um,
I don't think so. I don't think today's a robo day.
I think I'm gonna sound normal. I think I'm gonna sound normal.
I want that for you, bro. Like against
W's
all
in the
odds, bro.
chat. Against all the odds that you're stacking. Yeah. What's up, chat? What's up, chat? What's up, chat? Hope y'all are doing good. I know I am. We got a lot of great chapters. Creams really is only tapped into like half of them. Loser. But
Thanks.
for everybody that's really reading real manga, that's keeping up with peak for real. God, we were eating, man. We were eating. Blue Lock cooked. JJK cooked. MHA cooked. Sakamoto Days cooked. Kagurabachi cooked. Yeah, we were eating. We were eating today.
Bro,
we were eating. Today was good. Today was good.
I'm gonna let you pick which one we start with today. We kind of have ample pickings.
Yeah, we do have a pick of the litter, don't we?
Yeah.
You know what? I got energy today. Let's jump into My Hero off rip. Let's jump into My Hero off rip.
Let's go.
Yeah.
It was just a great chapter.
I love what Horikoshi's doing. Me and Mikey we're kind of telepathically communicating, right?
Like
before
Johnny
this chapter came out.
Right.
Hey, bro, I gotta post a document now, right?
Oh my God.
You know what I said. Anyways, as soon as I'm done talking, expect a tweet, bucko. But anyways, me and Mikey were telepathically communicating because we're separate people, but we just got like a social link. You know what I mean? And we were really nervous that Horikoshi was going to fumble the fight. And obviously it's really the first chapter since these motherfuckers have actually started duking it out. But man, has he started off very, very confidently. The callback to the Air Force finger flicks finally kind of being manifested in a real destructive, real controlled is crazy looking at the damage, but real intentional way. Amazing. Horikoshi's art, obviously great in the way that Horikoshi's art always is. Deku, I like the strategy here, man. Deku always impresses me in the way he's
so analytical.
This motherfucker Shigaraki's got danger sense. He's got your quirk, and he said, "No, I got you because you got my quirk. I'm gonna catch you slipping. I got you for that, bro." And then I think the chapter name is what is it? The world's or history's craziest hero, and I'm like, oh, that's W. I needed that. And that, listen, I love Deku's persistence here. I know you're a what you would call a realist. You're not able to believe in the human heart and
where's
just
the
general
slander
goodness
coming from?
We've had conversations about Deku and Shigaraki, and you're just like, kill him, bro, blow his head off.
Oh my God.
Very old episodes, but you haven't explicitly mentioned that you've changed, you've had a change of heart. But I don't know, man. Deku's stubbornness, I'm locked in for it, bro. He's speaking facts. Trauma don't go away that quickly. Shigaraki saying he talking a big game, right? He's covering him and all of his destruction and whatnot. But I'm very curious to see how this fight shakes out. Horikoshi has really impressed me. Deku is really impressing me. Shigaraki's obviously doing what he does. I think I've kind of just expected greatness from him. In that last panel when he's like, "Hey, bruh, it's time to come up off of all for one or one for all rather." I'm like, "Hey, yo, whoa, hey, buddy, what you mean by that? That's you what? I'm sorry, you're saying a lot right now." But I this chapter was really good. I really liked it. I was very, very hype all the way through. So W Horikoshi.
Yeah. I too am curious what he means by getting rid of one for all. Damn, bro. Seeing All Might's Vistage fully formed, that was that got me a little choked up. Because Horikoshi's famously loves All Might death scenes, right? And I think if his thing is just to kind of pull the trigger and just next thing, All Might's kind of in the quirk afterlife here. I don't know, that's a really intense way of showing that. So R.I.P. All Might officially, I guess. Um,
You see that as him being dead?
yeah, I mean, that was kind of the implication for why his form was so incomplete in One for All the entire time.
I mean, I guess so, but you don't. In my opinion, you don't show Deku and Bakugo going out of their way to make like the less logical decision and like saving All Might if he just off screen dies. Like that just doesn't seem like Horikoshi style.
So,
I mean,
how do you interpret like All Might forming, like Deku's imagination, or?
yeah, I don't necessarily know if I see that as like a vestige of All Might rather than it is a flashback to a
Mm,
memory from Deku, right?
mm,
Personally, I don't see it that way because like if you look at the vestige that like that we see in the page before, it's still malformed, right?
mm-hmm.
It's still like wispy and translucent. To me, this is just calling back to the moment in which All Might decided that he was worthy of being a hero, right? Um, like I think All Might's vestige is still incomplete because obviously, or not obviously, but necessarily, but he isn't dead. I think the second user of One for All is like obviously being having access to all of like Deku's memories, blah blah blah. It's kind of like, hey man, I know what this shit meant to you. We're gonna like if you're trying to save Shigaraki the way you really think you can, you're not gonna be able to keep One for All. That's
Mm,
just not how this is gonna shake out. It's not how it's gonna work.
interesting. So you think it's like the vestiges themselves letting go of the quirk and leaving it all to Deku, kind of like how do you
Not,
say, like they're the
not.
baggage, so to speak.
I think they're going to have to be willing to like sacrifice themselves, like to be stolen away, in order to allow Deku to like fight Shigaraki more in like the vestige world than physically, right?
Mm.
Because killing Shigaraki doesn't solve anything. Even just beating his ass over and over. I think they're gonna have to like connect in there, kind of like what they did in the last war arc, right?
Mm.
Where Deku even sees Shigaraki crying for the first time anyways. I think he's gonna have to do that. But since he's facing a Shigaraki that can just steal his quirk at a moment's notice, there's going to come a heavy price with being that close to Shigaraki for that long, and actually communicating with him. And the price might be all of his quirks, is what I'm getting at.
I see. Okay, that's an interesting approach to it. Has a little
Yeah.
divide and conquer mentality behind it, while being kind of a solemn goodbye. Yes, adequately depressing. I'm satisfied.
Mm. Yep. I mean, yeah, I think the chapter was really good. I mean, I don't know. I'm locked in for it. I'm locked in for it 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I'd give this chapter like an 8.5 out of 10. I was very thoroughly satisfied. So I enjoyed it. Horikoshi, thank you for the meal.
Yes.
Appreciated.
Well cooked, sir. Well cooked. Um, okay.
Yeah.
So
Um,
next up, Blue
let's get
Lock.
to the super chats real
Oh,
quick.
okay.
So M3D, thank you for the 5. BR, can you believe they was trying to convince us a dude who's pretty much 0-1 was beating Nagumo? Yeah, bro. You know what? Before we talk about Lulak, let me
Okay.
get on Sakamoto days real quick.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Go on.
All right, bro. I'm gonna say this. Everybody that thought Gaku was winning, you're cucked. Sorry. I mean, technically the fight ain't over because Gaku doesn't seem like the type of guy that's going down to just, a regular old stab to the gut with a blade. But I
Regular
will
old.
say this. Yeah. I will say this though. I will say this: Gaku fans are in the mud. I mean, obviously Goat was gonna win here, right? He cooked. I'll give Gaku something, right? He's strong guy, whatever. He's strong guy, whatever. He just didn't have the experience. That 1-inch punch, kind of hard. It ain't beating our goat for real. But I think this chapter was really good, very amazing. Just delivered exactly on what we wanted from a Sakamoto Days fight between these two characters. and the fucking invisible blade. Oh my god, bro. That's so crazy. That's so crazy. This chapter was amazing. Nagumo cooked, as everybody who had a brain knew he would, by the way. So yeah, W chapter, W chapter. This is the weekly plug. Yudo Suzuki is amazing, spectacular, great. And if you're not reading his manga intentionally, you're probably a dunce. I'm just gonna be real. Or you just decided you want to miss out on peak. Either way, you're making a bad decision. But Sakamoto Days was great. Great chapter, great fight. W for Nagumo. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, okay, before we get into Blue Lock, there is something I wanted to talk to you about, right?
Okay.
Listen, man. I realized yesterday that I hadn't caught up to Blue Lock in like 3-4 weeks, just for various holiday / forgetting reasons, right? And I was going back to catch up on all the chapters, right, including the one for today. And I realized something, right, bro? Did you know that I fucking love Blue Lock as a series? Isn't that crazy?
Nah, I can't tell from the way you talk about it, to be honest. I mean, yeah, no, bro. Yeah, no, you're such a big, you're such a big fan of the series.
Anyway, so it got me thinking, right? I come to a decision that I might be a bit controversial, but hear me out, right? Reading Blue Lock on a binge goes so much harder than reading it week to week. Keeping that momentum for an extended period of time is like a very unique reading experience, and that shit is so fucking cool. And as a guy that just did an entire reread, that's you I'm referencing, I assume you concur with my sentiment, right?
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a manga thing, though. I don't think there's a single manga in existence that is more carnally enjoyable on a weekly. I don't think you can name one. I don't think you can name one.
It's not necessarily more, but it's a different, like, reading JJK weekly can be satisfying intrinsically, right? Same with Blue Lock. However, the gap of enjoyability, right, that multiplier, if you will, for Blue Lock just seems, to me personally as a reader, way higher than most other series.
When's the last time you put down JJK for several weeks? You know what I mean? We've been reading weekly for years, bro.
I mean, I did a reread a while back. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Point is, the decision I came to is I think I want to let some of these chapters build up and just do massive binges. Because I don't know, but it just hits so much harder. Especially because the tension in some of these week-to-week chapters is so fucking crazy that, like, I just, damn, bro, getting it's stressful. It's a stressful reading experience, but like in a good way. And you know what? I'd want to prolong it over like a really long hour, over like, 5 minutes every Sunday. But that's just me personally, right? I was thinking about just swapping it out with Sakamoto Days or something on the podcast.
You're a funny guy. You know that? You're a funny guy. You got really mad at me when I said the same thing.
I literally didn't do that.
I could pull up the clip actually, because you were like, you didn't tell me about this before stream. I remember I said the exact same thing, that before the Rin game, I wanted to put it down and just binge it, and you damn near had a meltdown, buddy. So no, I'm still talking about Blue Lock Weekly, bruh. We still talking about Blue Lock Weekly. Suck it up. Do a reread like me, like a real goat. W's in the chat. W's in the chat.
Mikey.
Why not just add Sakamoto Days?
Are you asking me, or are you reading off the chat?
No, I'm saying why not. I'm asking you, why not just add Sakamoto Days?
I mean, I can. The whole thing is just like I'm 70 chapters behind now, so it's just like a conscious reread that I would do, right? So that's why I wanted to like float the idea by everybody before just like doing it and then telling you that's what I was gonna do.
I mean, I didn't mean replace. I meant just like additively. I mean, I'm gonna still be reading Blue Lock Weekly, right? And I'm gonna still be talking about Blue Lock Weekly. So if you want to just do it where, like, kind of like how I do with Kagurabachi or Sakamoto now, where I just talk about it on my own, that's fine. But I still want to talk about Blue Lock on the pod, because I'm gonna be keeping up with it, obviously, because I want to make videos and stuff like that too. So, pick the poor time to grow Blue Lock conscious, buddy.
That's crazy. You could have just agreed, been like vindicated after the fact, like Galileo. He was vindicated after the initial thing, and everybody was happy about it after. No issues whatsoever with Galileo.
Anywho, yeah, Galileo comparison aside,
We just like me for real,
Lethality.
bro.
BR is correct. I have the clip. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. See, lethality being here is such a fact checker on conversations, man. That's a W. Thank you, lethality.
I'm
Lem-
starting to regret that comment we made about getting a Jamie for this podcast. I did not think I would be fact checked. This is kind of
hey,
crazy,
man.
bro.
That's what happens when you're wrong most of the time. Let's get through these super chats. Let's read them out real quick. So Jaden 3011, thank you for the 2. Yuta stocks at an all-time high and low. It's crazy. Listen, I'm gonna be real. We'll get into it. Yuta stocks to me,
Are so
they're
volatile,
not low
bro.
right now. They're
Bro.
not low right now. They're volatile if you're an idiot. That's how I'm gonna say it.
No, I meant
That's
in
how
the
I'm gonna say it.
community, bro. Like I've never seen any character oscillate as violently between fraud and goat as Yuta Okotsu, bro. Like maybe Yuji is like a runner
Might I
up.
present Ryomen Sukuna?
I mean, okay, do you count the fraud allegations as like real or part of the bit? Let me rephrase. Do you count the bit as genuine?
How real is? Oh my God, you just going to Africa to you? You know what I mean?
Okay. Let me hit you with a counter, right?
Mhm.
Yuta didn't blitz Kenjaku, caught off guard, fraud.
Sukuna needed Maharaga. Oh my God.
Fine. Yuta's freaking out in the locker room. Okay. You know what? Fair. Go crazy.
Maharaga, save me! Like, bro, we're part of the same community, bro. You saw the same shit I saw. Why you acting brand new, bro? Why acting brand new?
I don't know. I thought
Like,
maybe Yuta was different, bro. I thought maybe he had like an
He is
exemption.
different. He's Yuta motherfucking Okotsu. That's why he's different. That's why he's different. That's why you gotta believe, man. Yuta did something, and I'll get into it later. But only 2 people in the series have done. But we'll get into that.
By the way,
C Miller, thank you.
I was just gonna say, Yuta's I'm proud of him, bro. This is, I mean, the Yuta's gonna show up with stitches on his forehead crowd. I know they're throwing up this week.
C Miller, thank you for the 5. Can't stay, but with every chapter, I'm loving Sukuna as an antagonist more. I loved his dialogue this chapter. Low key started rooting for him to win.
That might be a bit much.
This might be Gege Yakutami.
Yeah,
bro.
this
That's
might
crazy.
actually, yeah. I feel like you kind of got me in like the middle and some of the beginning there.
First half, not gonna lie.
Yeah, but like that last half, I feel like was a stretch too much. I think we went over the line with that one. But
Yeah.
love half of that for you though.
Yeah, Snap Studios, thank you for the 2. Bar for bar, who wins JJK or Hunter x Hunter narrator? I don't know a single bar that the Hunter x Hunter narrator has, like on the level of most of the shit that is said during Shibuya, bro. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be.
I don't
honest.
know. Okay, so Gon's indescribable sadness, or no, not Gon's. What's his fucking name?
Oh,
fuck
Kurapika.
off, Kurapika.
Yeah,
damn it,
bro.
It's
Listen,
been a minute.
bro.
It's been a minute.
I'll say this. I'll say this. Whose name is inspired by the sheer lethality? Have you ever seen a username on any social media inspired by fucking indescribable set? No, bro. That's lame. That's not lame. It's actually a very cool line. But it just don't compare, bro.
Fine.
It just don't compare. Like let's
okay.
go line for line. If you're no, go for Hunter x Hunter. Let's go line for line.
No,
please.
here's the argument I was gonna make, right? Because my whole thing is JJK's got better quality pound for pound, right? But the Hunter x Hunter narrator shows up for work every single day, working 16-hour shifts. Quantity wise, I don't know. He's working overtime.
I'll say this: if we were talking about the anime, then like the Hunter x Hunter narrator would win. But yeah. Otherwise, nah.
Like my whole thing, believe it or not, is the lobotomy Kaisen edits. As like, duh, of course. Like, dude, you're not making memes of like 5 lines talking to each other with Hunter x Hunter bars.
Yeah, that's true.
Jaden,
yeah, sure.
Jaden 2011, thank you for the 5. Don't forget, we got to glaze Yuta 2. UG2, our boy RCT confirmed he's rising up in the world. Yes, he is. I'm so fucking proud of him, dude. I've been waiting for UG come up, bro. These allegations of water boy, loser, not a main character, bro. Yuji's been fighting for his life these last few weeks from all this slander being thrown his way, and I'm just glad he's persevering through it.
Yeah, Yeah, we'll talk about Yuji. We'll talk about Yuji. I'm very surprised you have anything nice to say about him, but we'll talk about Yuji. Let's see. You wanted to jump in Blue Lock though.
Yes,
Blue
sir.
Lock had a Blue Lock had a good chapter, and finally, Blue Lock is also caught up to JJK in terms of like chapter
Let's
number, so that's
go,
interesting.
dude. Ah,
Two
it's a
forty
good
eight to
day.
248.
It's a good day, man. I know
Um,
we've always spoken about what we do when the day came, or if it would even come, and now here we are, dude, on the other side of it. And I'm happy for both of us. I know how much how much this means to the podcast. And I'm glad we finally got here. You and me.
yeah, 100%. Um, anyways, whatever that means. Listen, bro, my excitement knows no bounds, bro. Isagi versus Rin. And bro, I'm not gonna lie, this might be a little underrated. I think they're like their archetypes are probably gonna be very similar, or like what they're gonna try to accomplish is very similar. Kaiser and Shido, like tough, acrobatic ass shot makers, bro. Like I need that so bad. The way Kaiser did that like upside down fucking like nutmeg Kaiser impact shot. I'm like, all right, bro. Shido, you got some fucking competition, buddy. Are you gonna let that slide? You gonna let that shit stand? I'm excited, bro. Two, what did Rin call it last chapter? An unguarded fucking punching match. I'm locked in, bro. This shit is about to be gas.
Bro, I
This is about to be gas.
we didn't really talk about it the other day, but I just want to. I'm curious what you thought of Loki as a coach, just from that brief glimpse into him in the locker room. Um,
Uh, very very normal coach so far. I haven't
really,
really. I mean, I
I
mean, yeah, like maybe you can argue that like him going for like the interesting aspect of like the matchup is a little bit unique, but like everything before that is, and I don't mean this in a negative way. I think it's a sign that he is like very mature for his age, but it is textbook coaching. Like you can see Noah doing the same thing, or Snuffy probably making similar
so
analyses, or even like Chris,
I
you
mean,
know,
okay,
evaluating his players in a similar way.
for me, the main difference, like that revealed itself was when you find out the philosophy behind the team. At least for Loki agreeing to even do this was to get what's his name? Uh, is his name?
I don't know his name yet, bro. He hasn't
Yeah,
imprinted on me yet.
the
He's
the
not
the
good enough
the,
for
the
that.
passer, right? The guy who's passing to
Yeah,
Shido and Rin.
and his name is Charles, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
Yeah.
Charles, right? Dude, when he was like, yeah, bro, I really just came here to like train up Charles to be my passer, right? Like to poach him.
Mhm.
I thought that shit was funny, right? I thought that was like, oh, okay, that's he's really not about like he is the youth as well, right? Like I almost forgot he's barely older than them, so he is also like
Mhm.
up and coming in a sense. So for him to just like, yeah, bro, I mean, I want to improve my game too, and this is the guy to do it. You guys just happen to be like part of the deal to get close to him. I just thought that was
Yeah,
cool.
but fair enough, bro. Fair enough. I'm happy for you. You know, I know you've been excited to see Loki. I'm sure Loki will impress me more. You know what I
Mm.
mean? But
Um,
as of right now, he just seems like a standard good coach.
mm.
You know,
I'm
um,
I'm almost surprised with Shido and Rin's cooperation of like I don't know, Shido especially, I guess they seem like Borrow like in their cooperativeness to being coached. So I don't know. That was
you
also,
think so?
like, am I just
I mean, I'm
misreading
saying
them,
like you
or
think it's no. I'm saying you think it's weird.
not? It stuck out to me, right? Because those are just like very direct orders, right? Like it's very, hey, I mean, I guess he's not as like hands on as Snuffy, right? Where he's like, no, this is literally the pattern you need to go in. This is the exact thing you need. He's giving them individual homework, so maybe that's how they're getting around it, right?
Hmm.
Um, but I don't know. I was just fascinated by them taking it in stride, so to speak. Because like even Kaiser talks back to Noel, right? And he's just
Mm-hmm.
like even that loser Kunigami does the same thing with Noel Noah, right? And he's not even particularly a dick about it. He's just giving them work to do. So Rin and Shido just also being okay, not also being okay, but like just being okay was it stuck out to me.
Um, I mean, I guess so. I don't know. We've seen one chapter of interaction, and also Shido's being tasked with like interesting things to do. Shido's to me has never been like Borrow per se. He's never been like overtly arrogant and I have to thread the needle on this one in terms of the way I phrase it, right? But his conflict, like he'll fight you if he doesn't think you're interesting, right? Baro will fight you if you dare, like, even presume you are interesting, like that you are worthy of fucking talking to the king of the field or whatever the fuck, right?
Mm.
But like Shido gives props to people all the time. Like I remember in the third selection, when Isagi like steals that goal from him and Rin. Rin's actually the sore loser. Rin's the person he's like, you fucking vulture. And she was like, nah, bro, that shit was actually kind of hard. That shit was kind of a W. So I imagine Loki is, you know, like probably like definably better than him, or like objectively so, or probably like demonstrated that in some capacity, or is just giving him a task that like suits Shido's um very battle hungry tendencies. That's the way I see it personally.
I see. Okay. Um.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess in that case, it's still surprising that Rin is so cooperative. Considering his explicit goal of surpassing Asagi, where he's just like fuck being number one and blah blah blah. Um. Maybe it's because like call it headcanon, right? But maybe it's because his goal of beating Asagi happens to just include being better at soccer, right? Like on a technical level, right? And Loki's homework is helping him do that. That he's not like combative about it. But I don't know. It's like Bachira, I could see as a player who's like okay with being coached, right? Baro isn't, and I always figured like at least half these players were in the Baro camp, than they were like the Bachira camp. Again, I could just be making that shit up, right? I mostly am.
I guess
like, it's a vibe thing.
I guess
like I can't prove it.
I mean
to you,
I just feel like we've seen the opposite with the U20 game. Like every player is being coached that is on the pitch. You know what I mean? They're all told their positions. They're all told what the plan is, and Ren has no issue abiding by the rules. Then I also think you bring up like a point that probably speaks to the also lack of snip. It's like, well, Ren's one of the star players. Why the fuck would he even be mad about anything, right? There's nothing to like buck at. It's like get on the field and play well. Okay, cool. Like I feel like there's nothing to even be snippy at, even if like Rin was that type of person per se. Him and Shido both get to play. They both get their minutes, right? I think it's like I think it's sort of like, yeah, sure. Tell you want me to go on the field with, oh damn, the other undefeated team that like has like a dynamic, very antagonistic, kind of like how we do. That sounds fun. Or in Shido's case, that's what he's saying. And in Rin's case, it's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm killing Isagi. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
So
I mean that's probably like a huge part of it, right? Like there is a lot of overlap there that I think is just unsaid, so it doesn't even need to be expressed. I just do find it amusing when it's something like Noah clearly being set up to throw in people who have been benched for a lot of the other games, like Ikaguri, for example. And I just wonder, like,
your goat.
Shut up. Anyway, so I wonder who is like who's gonna be okay with that. Maybe you know, there's 11 players on there. Sure, you can swap him out with one of them, but there was like no fanfare about Noel just sort of spelling that out that's what he's gonna do. I don't know. I'm fascinated with the cooperation inherently.
Got you. Fair enough. In other news, speaking of other things that are certainly interesting, bro, Kunigami being in his fucking regeneration chamber.
Yeah, that was that was a crazy panel. Like
bro getting his specs.
He's getting the serum, bro. Like
yeah, bro. WWW.
He's on the Steam wave.
Ego's definitely interesting here. Throw away your ego, achieve a blank state of mind. I'm like, I don't know. That's very unlike you. And I wonder if Kunigami is going to like buck that trend in order to like achieve greater heights. Cause like I've been singing this matchup's praises forever, but I need to see how Shido and Kunigami feel about each other. Now, if Shido's still bored by Kunigami, if Kunigami feels some type of way about like being forced to be like a carbon copy of another player and like discarding his previous ego, right? Like I think there are definitely character interactions that can be had there.
Mm.
Rin and Isagi rather is obviously going to be the highlight, but I do think that there are a lot of like tangential relationships that can be explored that I'm pretty interested to see. I'm very interested to see for sure.
Same, same. I think one of the reasons I wanted to kind of stack chapters when I was reading through was partially because this chapter was really cool, right? As Blue Lock chapters tend to be. However, they were just walking to the pitch. You know what I mean? Like there is
Oh my god,
bro. No,
Jesus
I
Christ.
just said it was good. I just said it was good. All right. I just think it goes even harder when it's on a binge because you get to just fucking blast through. I love I love me some momentum, man.
I get you. It just seems like a very every manga in existence that's weekly sort of experience. Like, oh my god, bro, this JJK chapter fucking sucks. They were just talking. It's like,
Nah, no, it's different because like, I mean, Gege is pretty economical with how he writes single chapters. You know, like,
and typically we have the opposite. Like, it makes that particular point even more interesting to me because very often we're aligned on Gege slow down more.
yes, economical.
So like the
economical is not
the
inherently.
bunking of like
Hold on, I didn't mean economic in like.
I'm not talking about your economical point. I'm talking about like the sort of because like the implication, right? I'm not saying you didn't like the chapter, but the implication of they were just walking to the pitch is not a positive one, right? There is some negative connotation in that, or else you wouldn't brought it up, right? And I'm saying it's interesting that you bring that up in that way because specifically in JJK, right? That is something that me and you have both we've essentially asked for the Jujutsu Kaisen equivalent of that. Please, for the love of God, give us a chapter of them just them walking onto the pitch. You explicitly mentioned that, like, oh my God, bro, whenever these motherfuckers get to talking, I'm so excited. Like, you know what I mean? It like, you know, you're allowed to like what you like for whatever reasons. You know, it's none of my business. But it's just an interesting, I guess, difference in how you assess these chapters because like Blue Lock is doing in this chapter almost exactly what I say at least, right? I'm like, yes, these downtime moments between really big climactic bombastic games. I want that. Thank you. Appreciate it. It gives us time to breathe and it's also very important for setting stakes, building hype, et cetera, et cetera.
I guess,
That's
yeah.
all I'm saying.
I mean, it does that function either way for me, right? It's just like a specific Blue Lock preference for me, because, like, okay, reading the matches in a binge is just more enjoyable for me, like, than reading them week to week, specifically for Blue Lock, right? This is not a thing I would apply, you know, across the board to every story or manga that I read, right? Like, I have different preferences for JJK, you know? Like, I want Gege to go slower for JJK, and, like, I have a different thing for Blue Lock, right? It's not, like, a umbrella thing, and it's not even really, it's, again, I don't want to make it sound like I'm, like, this is negative, right? Or, like, I'm being like, no, the chapter sucks otherwise, right? Again, the chapters are great, even week to week, right? It's just, like, my ideal, like, maximum enjoyment of Blue Lock comes from doing it that way, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. NJW, Tokumitsu with the confidence buff is gonna make everyone on that field look washed. Isagi's next challenge will be him. Bro, Tokumitsu is not moving the needle.
That's
I mean, he might. I mean, he might do something, bro. Tokumitsu. Let's be real. Let's be honest, bro.
Tokumitsu
I don't know why you denied Ronin's offer to binge the chapters. Then what the fuck? Because he doesn't know what he wants, bro.
I was in a different place in a different time, bro. Like oh,
that's cursive for not knowing what he wants, bro.
This is crazy. Also, Mikey, you probably said all that in a British accent. Like, what are we doing here? Like,
I'm dropping a doc for that, by the way.
How come?
I won't let you attack my friends anymore. I told you I won't let you attack my friends anymore, bro. Especially like me and Mikey, we got a mental link, bro. I'm not letting you attack
y'all are not
anymore,
Family Guy fans. You're simply playing with powers beyond your comprehension, bro.
Thank God, bro.
Bro, it's beyond you to play with these abilities. All right, like I'm worried about your safety.
which document do you think I should drop? I started this new thing where if Kreams starts attacking my friends, I just start, dropping docs. I could drop this one where he says that because he got the black rope, he's just like ghetto for real. What you think? What you think, Chet? Should I go with a different one? Tried and true.
This is insane.
But yeah, Tokumitsu is Raichi fodder. You get it, bro. Cad Cal, you kind of get it, bro. You understand. But yeah. Anyways. Yeah, Blue Lock chapter was great, excellent, delicious, delectable. I'm gonna give that pretty similar score I gave the My Hero one. Different vibes, different reasons, but I'll give it an 8.5.
Same,
8.5 out of 10.
Yeah. Okay, cool. That's probably where I have it as well.
Why not both? Yeah, y'all right. All right.
Why?
Anyways, yeah. And bro, the chat spoke. I mean, I don't know what you want me to tell you.
Whatever. Anyway, what's after book club?
Hold on. Let me talk about Kagurabachi first, bro. Let me talk about real peak.
While you do that, I'm gonna get some water.
Yeah, you do that. Go and put some lemon in it, bro. Anyways,
damn right I will.
Kagurabachi, bro. I mean, this shit was so fucking gas. This shit was gas. Also, NJ Hurt, I'm super glad to hear you got on the fucking Percy Jackson train, bro. I'm glad to hear that. This Kagurabachi chapter was so fucking hard, bro. I'll tell you this, chat. If there's one thing that just gets me going in a fucking fight, it's when mangaka put those timers in it, bro. When we just know how fast these motherfuckers are moving because of how how little time is elapsing during their clashes, right? Shit is so hard. A manga that comes to mind that did that really well is Ragnar Crimson. Read that shit if you haven't already. But this was really good. Chihiro and Sojo kind of having in my opinion, I don't think this is the end of their relationship or the end of Sojo, right? But I'll say like a sub climax to their whole dynamics and arcs. This was really good, bro. The sitting down, sharing a meal in the midst of like, not even in the midst, but like this kind of being the internal interpretation of everything that's going on outside, hard. Chihiro like having to lose one of his arms in order to like alter the trajectory of Sojo's attacks, hard, bro. I don't know why, but like the way Chihiro phrases like Sojo's movements of like the high speed riding the lightning thing he does, I don't know why that sounds so cool to me, bro. Like just riding the lightning, that's hard. That's really cool. From a visual perspective, bro. From a visual perspective, this chapter was absolutely fucking amazing. Hokazono does a really good job of capturing these like still moments and making them look cinematic as fuck, bro. I was so gassed for that. And I think the conclusions that Chihiro and Sojo come to of just like, hey, bro, even Kunishige said that like the one who wields the blade, right, is like you're gonna have to look for your own right answer when you wield it, when you craft it, basically when you're around a tool that is meant explicitly for killing people, right? What you kill people for, or what that tool, what this tool meant for death essentially is used for, whether you use it for good, whether you use it for indiscriminate destruction, it is up to you, right? You have to make that decision for yourself. And Chihiro kind of like getting out of his immaturity and getting out of his own head of like, no, my interpretation is correct because I grew up with my father. And he's like, but that flies in the face of what he said, right? And just being like, all right, bro, you know what? That's fair. You bring up a good point, bro. Like I like you, not even you bring up a good point, but like I accept that what you are saying is allowable, and that's why I gotta kill you even harder. That's crazy, bro. And also, this is really indicative of Chihiro's fucking like matchup knowledge and just his adaptability, because Sojo reacts to Chihiro's attacks in the same way, I think multiple other times in their fights before. So slowing down to alter the timing and then just fucking body him with that last slash. God, bro, that shows so much adaptability, shows so much intelligence. And the author doesn't have to come out and say, oh my God, Chihiro's such a smart character. You're just able to pick up on the fact that like, oh, bro, he literally fought Sojo before, right? Sojo has a particular fighting style and way of countering, right? And then he realized that and plays into it. He played into his tendencies. He played into all of that and then fucking countered, bro. Oh my God, that shit's hard. Oh my God, that shit's hard, bro. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Very, very fucking cool chapter. Very, very, very good chapter. I'm not gonna lie. I think Sojo's still gonna be here, and if for no other reason than like unexplored plot points, like for example, Sojo still mentioned like making his own like divine blades or whatever, and also the backstory that's kind of hinted at when he gets like his mental manipulated, right? Um, is still ambiguous to us. We still don't know what it is. We still don't know how that's shaped him and anything like that. I imagine even though he's being defeated here, even though the blade he was wielding is broken, and even though he might be captured or even killed in this instance, one, I think Shira might just like fall over immediately after this, not being able to finish him off. And two, even if he is apprehended, I don't know if I necessarily think this is the end of Sojo. If this is all Sojo is meant to do, and like Hokazono saw like, yeah, no, this is a good introductory villain, bro. I'm so gassed for what he has next. Because if this is a motherfucker that you're like, oh, this is a throwaway guy, I can use this guy and be like, yeah, no, this is a good trendsetter. This is a good way to set the tone. I'm like, motherfucker, what else do you have in the back pocket, bro? What else do you have ready if you can use this guy and be like, yeah, no, this is introductory. I personally don't think it's over for him, but either way, I'm very, very excited. Kagurabachi, um, it's tough to say that my favorite chapter just because like Yuta showing up is so hype. But damn, bro, in terms of like consistently being great all the way through, I do think Kagurabachi had my favorite chapter of the week. JJK is just very like back end heavy and kind of like comes in clutch with the Yuta entrance, in my opinion. Um,
You.
so I'm gonna give this. I'm gonna give this chapter. Am I? I'm about. You know what? Fuck it. I'm giving this chapter 10 out of 10, bro.
That's crazy.
I'm giving this chapter 10 out of 10. This shit was gas, bro. That shit was gas. I'm a big Kagurabachi fan, bro. Go watch the Kagurabachi video. This shit's gas too. If you're not reading it, read it. If you are reading it, read it again. Y'all know what it is, bro. Y'all know what it is. Kagurabachi on top.
Watching you become a Kagurabachi fan in real time as the weeks go by has been, it's definitely been an experience. Because like I remember that first chapter, bro. You're like, yeah, I mean the memes are whatever, but let's see if it actually stands on its own 2 feet. And then here you are, 15 or so weeks later, singing its praises. It's funny how character development works. I don't know.
I'm gonna use the bathroom.
I don't know if you heard any of that, but let's just keep it pushing, chat. Um, let's see. Give it a 10. Okay, cool. He gave it a 10. It seems like. Can everybody hear me? By the way, what's? Did this dude mute me? Okay, no. I'm talking. Okay, cool. Chat. I'm gonna be honest with you. We're probably gonna talk about it when he comes back, but there's 2 more series we have to cover before we get into JJK. One is gonna be Percy Jackson because I finished Blood of Olympus. So that's gonna be. I'm just gonna give my review of that book, and then I guess the the core 10 Percy Jackson books. Then we're gonna talk about Vinland Saga, which, yes, guys, contrary to popular belief, we did our jobs. We did our jobs. So that's something to look forward to as well with Vinland Saga. One Piece chapter was also excellent. The One Piece chapters are, bro, they've always been excellent. One Piece chapters always delivers. Oda's been delivering for damn near 3 decades. I will say, this Egghead Island arc, right? I've said it before and I'll say it again. It just literally it might negative diff Wano. I don't know if Oda should necessarily feel shame for Wano. That's a bit much, right? Should he feel pride? That's going a bit far. That's going a bit far in the opposite direction, if you ask me. Pride is that's a big one. That's a big one for Wano. It's no Egghead Island, right? It's no Egghead, bro. This Kuma backstory, this whole Kuma arc has been nothing but fucking peak for damn near 10 chapters, and it has been heartfelt, engaging, cool. It's added to the world building. It's just been absolutely sick. And most of all, it just pays off a lot of setup, bro. Years of it. So I'm just happy all around with this chapter, and I guess the general direction One Piece has been going in since Egghead Island started. Sleeping Danger kind of, I'm not saying I co-sign or I necessarily agree with every single thing you just said, but the man writing Egghead didn't write Wano. That arc was garbage. Look, bro. Look, man. Hey, somebody said it. Somebody said it. Somebody said an opinion. Oda not pregnant, but he manages to find a way to deliver. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, right? About One Piece, about Egghead. I am just loving it. I do think it's not overstaying its welcome, Wano, and I can't wait to see Elbaf next, right? I think this is it, bro. This is peak One Piece for me, and it has been for fucking weeks. Thank you, Oda. It's been a pleasure. It's been a joy. I couldn't be happier, and most of all, hand on his shoulder, I'm proud of you. I'm just proud. It's good to be proud of your mangaka, really. It's good to encourage them and tell them that they're appreciated and that they're doing a good job and that they're not disappointing you. I have not read chat in the entire monologue. Let me see what people are saying in here. I did read up to Wano, but yeah, not the biggest One Piece fan. Demon Akatsuha, don't worry. That'll get like you'll get over that. I believe in One Piece's ability to wear down its audience. Because it wore me down, like 5 panels in. If Kreams had his own action figures, it would come with its own crickets. First of all, that's crazy. Second of all, that's kind of funny.
All right. Did you read the super chats and memberships?
I didn't. I read the memberships. I did not read Demon Akatsuha's super chat. Thank you for the 5, Demon Akatsuha. I hope Sojo isn't going to fill the Zabuza role. This might be for you, bro.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. I hope Sojo is going to fill that Zabuza role. The parallels between him and Chihiro are poignant. I found quite a bit to sink my teeth into. Yeah, I agree. I would definitely like Sojo's definitely grown on me. I would definitely like it if he was a mainstay. But the way I look at it is like, and this is kind of looking at it as a glass half full, no matter how you look at it, from my personal interpretation, right? But it's like Zabuza clearly isn't the best Naruto had to offer antagonistically, right? So if Sojo is, Kagurabachi Zabuza, and assuming it like stays for as long as it should, then I think that means that the author is pretty confident that they can craft up like really, really good villains. And if that's the case, I'm very excited. Don't get me wrong, want Sojo, but if we don't have him, I'm personally going to interpret that as a sign of confidence in their ability to write, for sure.
Damian Rosario, thank you for the 5. What's y'all estimate how long I should head out for Percy? I'm on the first book reading it because of y'all. Appreciate it, and you're welcome. And I want to avoid spoilers for later books. I guess put us on mute, and we'll fire
like 10
off.
minutes.
Yeah, fire off the bat signal when that time comes.
Okay. Yeah, it shouldn't be too long, the last book and everything. So.
All right, so you want to do Vinland Saga then Percy, or Percy then Vinland Saga?
Let's get Percy. Let's do Percy.
All right, finish Blood of Olympus. I got some thoughts about the book itself, right, and I guess about the overall, conclusion to let's say the core 10 of Rick's work, right?
So pause real quick, Damon Rosario and anybody else who's not caught up. This is your sign, dip out, right? We'll probably like 10, 15 minutes at most. Probably we'll be talking about Percy.
Peak.
Probably won't talk about it too long. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, just check back in chat or whatever. See if we're still talking about it. And someone in chat or we personally will let you know.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, go ahead.
So, first of all, Blood of Olympus is to me, it's the second hardest book of Heroes of Olympus to get through after Lost Hero. Not that it's bad, but it's just, it didn't have that same flow, that same like energy as Son of Neptune, House of Hades, and Mark of Athena. Like that was peak, Rick Riordan, right? Blood of Olympus felt like trying to tie up everything here, right? And I think the best parts of the book were trying to wrap up like the conclusions, right? And the addition of Nico and Reina's perspective, right? those are definitely like the best parts of the book. However, it is held back by it A being the shortest in the series, and B, I felt like how much I loved Nico and Reina's whole thing, right? With how good it was, I almost wish there was more of it on like a fucking Marvel junkie level, right? That's referencing a tweet that I think a handful of you might catch a reference of, but I don't know. Like I still loved it. That is to say, it's no Last Olympian. So that's my review of the last book. If you want to sit on that one for a bit, or just ask follow-up questions about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would generally agree. I would generally agree that it is not the strongest book in the series, especially coming off the heels of like a really strong run of books for sure. Landon brings up a good point that it's like it's a finale to that, but like whereas I feel like The Last Olympian, you can stop at The Last Olympian
Mm-hmm.
and there's no need to read anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Rick didn't really write The Blood of Olympus for that. Where
Mm-hmm.
maybe it would have been better to do that, right? To have it, close its own saga and then start a new one.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of things kind of keep getting explored later in like,
Yeah.
the trials of Apollo
Apollo,
and things
yeah,
of that
which
nature. So
like I'll give you an example of what I mean by some stuff is unsettled. So when talks to Jason, and he's like, you're that you're not in the clear yet, right? Like you guys specifically, like somebody has to take the blame for all of this, and Apollo getting in trouble is like that's not concluded in this book, right? That's like presumably picked up after in the trials of Apollo, just using context clues here, right? So
mhm.
that's something that is a little murky, right? It has similar energy as like a Marvel post credit scene, as crazy as that sounds, but like not a bad one, like Phase 1 post credit scene, right, where it's actually leading up to something cool, but still a post credit scene. Um, the hardest part about this book, though, by far, was how good each individual point of view cluster was, right? So you'll get 3 to 4 chapters of, like, say, Nico's perspective, and then 3 to 4 chapters of somebody on the Seven's perspective, right? However, the reason it was so difficult to read was because they took place in completely separate areas and contexts, right? So you'll get like 3 to 4 chapters of Peak and then a different 3 to 4 chapters of Peak somewhere else. But you have to get off the ride, so to speak, and get on a new one and basically start back up from scratch. So it was such an exhausting read emotionally that I was getting through it not because like it was necessarily worse, but because it was so jarring to go back and forth between each one, and like it was like it was like running for 10 minutes and then just coming to a sudden stop and then running for an additional 10 minutes in a different direction. Like it's just like I can do it, but it just takes a lot more out of me, and it's not quite as smooth as like 2, 3, and 4 were, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, for sure. And I get that. That makes sense. That makes sense. Um, yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, I guess on what you did see conclude, how do you feel?
Good, good. It might be best if you ask me like bullet points here with characters, just so I have some kind of mental structure.
Hey,
Um,
bro, you 10 chapters, you're not 10 chapters, you 10 books deep, bro. I think you've graduated from. I don't need to hold your hand
no, no, no,
anymore.
no, no.
You got it, man.
It's
Like what?
it's more just for podcast organization than anything else. Um,
Sure, man. Leo, then I guess.
okay, so I'm glad you brought up Leo first, because I've noticed that. Okay, I've spoken to the streets, right? Just short of your house, so to speak, and I was informed that Leo's ending was the most controversial, but I loved it. Um, I'm curious what your stance is on it.
Very good, unambiguously so.
Okay,
I don't have any.
interesting.
I don't have any. There's no controversy in my heart, at
Do
least.
you know of the controversy with which I speak?
Nope.
Okay, so the controversy that I was informed of was that, and I even saw some tweets on my timeline just on some algorithm shit. Basically, some people don't like that Leo ended up with Calypso because it betrayed his whole being a seventh wheel thing. they were like, the answer shouldn't have been, you know, he gets like another wheel. It should have been that he is okay with being like not even alone, but just with his friends and finding, you know, fulfillment there. To me, I get it, but I don't agree with it for three reasons. One, I'm a Calypso shill, um, through and through. Let that girl free. She did nothing wrong. I want a happy ending for her. I want a happy ending for Leo, and the fact that it's a package deal is great. I'm glad Leo doesn't fucking go to, I don't know, Tartarus or whatever the consequence is for breaking a Styx oath. And I just found it really charming, man. So that's the last reason is I feel like that's a hat on a hat because he already did that shit with Reina, right? She got that pretty explicitly resolved as like for her character journey, where her fate was like, no, just demigod, like nobody's gonna solve this for you, bro. Like you you got that, you know. Like the fates were just like you're good. So I felt like I don't know, it would be a hat on a hat to do it again with Leo. Um,
I
and
mean, I mean, I mean, he resolves it in the way that they want him to resolve it. I mean, not necessarily in the not getting a relationship thing, but I mean, he still is a seventh wheel. Like everyone else is very insular, right?
yeah,
He goes out and he makes his own happiness with Calypso.
yeah.
Like,
Um, Again,
I mean,
it's not
he
my
literally
opinion.
like,
Just to be clear, like I cannot emphasize that enough. That is not the opinion I have, right? So
yeah.
I hope you're arguing just
I
like
mean,
kind of out there.
I'm just I'm
Okay.
making the point for the same reason you made your point about the
Okay. Okay.
Leo
Because
thing.
like yeah, I wasn't.
You
I don't know if you were prepping for like pushback on my end, but just wanted to
nope.
yeah be clear with that.
No, I just think like, yeah, Leo was the seventh wheel. He was a little bit of an outsider, right? He reconciles with his friends in a way that like he's not yearning for Hazel. He doesn't feel weird about Frank. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Jason and Piper. He's happy for them.
Mm-hmm.
Percy and Annabeth, like he squashes the what little beef he had with Percy.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Annabeth he didn't have the closest relationship with. So Leo is going to go make Leo happiness on his own, and
Yeah.
that's fine.
Um.
I think that's completely well within the narrative for him.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Um. And especially because Leo's chapters with Calypso were so guttural for me that I basically was like in tears. I think I sent you the gif of the guy crying on the floor. That was
mhm.
me, bro. When Calypso had her bags packed. Fuck, bro.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
thought it was lovely. So that's my whole opinion on Leo's thing. His sacrifice was it was hard, but I really liked his ending.
yeah. I guess whose conclusions? Like, just go down the list of like the conclusions you liked a lot
Um,
after Leo.
my favorite one was Nico's. Um,
Mm.
Nico being able to sleep in the Hades cabin, not alone, despite you know Hazel's setting up like a little tent for herself for some privacy. Um, Staying when Leo was like, "I'm staying at Camp Half Blood," throwing up and crying naturally. I was so happy for
Mm.
him. Him finding Will was really fucking sweet. Him telling Percy about you know the crush and giving Annabeth that high five. Just everything was. God, I love Nico's resolution, dude. It was. I think Nico, aside from Percy, is my favorite character. So to see this kid finally get some kind of happiness after all the bullshit was just really sweet. And when Hades was like, you know, I would like for at least one of my kids to be happy. I was like, bro, please let it be. Please let it be fucking Nico. Please, I'm begging you. But yeah, Nico's ending was the fucking best for me. Loved it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. Um, yeah, I mean, I like it as well. I like it as well. Jason and Piper, how you feel about them? Because I think they're pretty intertwined into Leo's
Mm.
conclusion, specifically because his whereabouts are unknown to them.
Um, I don't know if Piper necessarily had an ending. She more just like got to. I'm gonna say this with a big asterisk, right? She got to retire with Jason, more or less,
Hmm.
which is kind of the main thing she wanted. To be honest with you, I liked Jason's ending, from like his perspective a little bit more because he almost like I said, right? He had like an anti-hero's journey in a weird way. Like for him, it was like, hey, bro, they just sort of gave me a blade and said, go be a hero, and to see him, it was almost like, that scene in Spider-Man 1 where he takes off the glasses and he's like buffer or whatever. So Jason's journey was like the opposite of that, where he, put on the glasses after, the god of medicine. I can't say his fucking name. After the god of medicine gave them to him.
Bro, you had the perfect Spider-Man analogy. You could have just said he was throwing his suit away, like in Spider-Man 2, bro.
I,
You had the analogy right there.
I more meant like on the Peter Parker shit more than like the lack of Spider-Man. Like he never got to be Peter in the first place, right? And that's something that I'm happy he's like coming to grips with, and just being more okay with just being a guy. And his like new role as like high priest or whatever in New Rome just seems to suit him and his like new post camp Half-Blood personality much better.
Yeah, I agree. I think Jason has a pretty good ending in Blood of Olympus. I agree. I mean, I guess I'm just curious. How do you feel about the entire like mainline series? I guess all things considered, all 10 books. How does it feel for you? Where does it stack up to an all-time?
Okay.
Media.
Okay.
And whatnot.
I gave it a 10 on Twitter when I reviewed it. It's up there for me now. It's just peak fiction, unfortunately. Unfortunately. I will give you an update on my power rankings though, because I've had some time to mull it over. So here they are, right?
Okay.
Top 1 is probably still Last Olympian, then Mark of Athena,
Okay.
then Labyrinth, then Son of Neptune, then then House of Hades, then Titan's Curse, and then Lightning Thief, then Lost Hero. No, not Lost Hero. That's fucking crazy. Then Blood of Olympus. Probably, I put Labyrinth above Blood of Olympus. Actually, my bad. And I think the rest of them just kind of fall in like the same category. Like Lost Hero, Sea of Monsters, kind of in the same spot near the bottom.
Got you. Okay. Cool. Original 5 still take it for you though.
Feels weird comparing them
over the
because like
Heroes of Olympus.
Dude, Heroes of Olympus is so much bigger. There's so much more of it. Like 3 of those books are the entire original 5 series, original 5 books. I guess. Okay, this is gonna sound nuts. I prefer the overall story and conclusions better of the first series, but I prefer the middle game of Lost Hero. Does that make sense?
I mean, I get what you mean, but which one do you like more at the end of the day? You know what I mean? Taking those things into consideration.
I think the first 5 books still have an edge out for me.
That's fair. That's fair. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm glad you like the book series so much, man. I'm glad you finally seen the light. I'm happy for you. You've seen greatness. You've seen peak. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately for you, everything that's not written by Rick Riordan is all downhill from here, bro. Don't get
the second person to say that to me. What the fuck, bro?
That's it, bro.
It's never the same. We got exposed to it too early as kids, and now nothing hits the same way. Fucking hell, dude.
Yeah, bro, you're lucky. I mean, like you got. I don't know, how old are you? 400 years of like media experience before you were introduced to Percy Jackson. So like, you had a good run. You were able to see anything besides it is like pretty good. Unfortunately, that stops today. So you're cooked.
God. So you never answered my question. How are you okay? Like, how did you get over it?
It's called rereads, buddy. You'll learn about it when you're older.
I see. So you didn't is your answer.
I don't think you can hear me. I said it's called rereads, buddy. You'll learn about it when you're older.
Also,
but yeah,
Percy and Annabeth's ending was really cute. Them doing the high school New Rome thing. Perfect peak. Rick cooks with them as per usual. All right, Linda, let's calm down. All right, I didn't forget shit.
Until she said it. It seems that you did, but fair enough. Yeah, man. I'm glad your Percy Jackson journey was was so powerful, so moving, right? Very appropriate. If you had any of the reaction, I'd have to, just,
Mm.
you know,
God,
make the
you know
podcast
what
go
I,
kaput. So,
you know
right
what I
answer.
love, bro. I love that you're giving it to me, like you're telling me this in this fucking monotone voice, but I genuinely know you're happy about it, and that's very weird. You
Good job, man.
you gotta work on that, bro.
No, I don't.
Bro,
But yeah,
this
I'm glad you enjoyed it though. I'm happy. I'm happy for you, bro. Clap it up, chat. If you started Percy Jackson, because we've been talking around this podcast, you're welcome.
and
And
enjoy. Let us know
hope
how it
you
goes.
guys hope
Yeah.
yeah hope you guys enjoy as much as these series deserves. Very very fun. I'm curious to see what the reception continues to be. But
Mhm.
yeah, very good, very good, very good. Um,
Um. Yeah, I think I'm not done with the Riordan verse. I started Kane Chronicles the other day. But I'm gonna go a bit slower. I did do 10 books in like 3 weeks, so I am gonna take a little little step back. But that's where I'm up to right now. Um,
cool, cool, cool.
Probably gonna do
Um,
Charles of Apollo or maybe Magnus Chase after. I'll figure it out. I'll let you know. But yeah.
cool, cool, cool. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Um,
Anything else or
but nope, that's it. Um,
I thought
we can jump into the book club. We can jump into Vinland Saga.
you know what's crazy? It's not that I thought you'd have more questions, but I think we like did the bulk of the Percy talk on Thursday for the member stream. That was
Yeah.
that was a good one, man. That was a good stream.
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, we'll talk about that
So you got
more.
weird, yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that more at the end when we talk about After Dark and all that. Lobby Warsaw, thank you for the 10. It's Heroes of Olympus for me. Frank and Leo are two of my favorites in that series. Frank Goat, Lee Goat. The series has a very special place in my heart. Only series that compares is Kane Chronicles. Such wasted potential. I don't want to count this as a spoiler, so I'm not going to respond directly. Frank and Leo are good picks. They are peak. Um, Sorry for you, and I'm happy for you. Bjor, it's your turn.
Yeah, what he said. I don't know if I think the Kane Chronicles are wasted potential personally. That's all. That's all I have the difference. Killian Bolton, thank you for the 5. I read all the Percy Jackson Hero Olympus books in school. Thought everyone knew about them already, but I guess not everyone can be blessed. Yeah. Us and a select few are just a little bit different. But it's up to us, people like me to share the light with heathens like Kreams to, maybe purify them, cleanse them a little bit of their sins. So you're welcome, Kreams. Um, yeah, and you'll be forever indebted to me. I know.
That's
Um,
that's that's a bit much. I already owe you one
and
debt, bro. I don't know if I can afford another one.
well, sorry, you owe me 2 now.
Shut up.
Um, but yeah, let's jump into Vinland Saga.
Mm,
We finally got around to reading it. You know what I mean?
mm,
W,
yeah.
W's in the chat. Um,
Ashbarian, thank you for the 2, but do you want us to break down on stream? What the fuck?
I'll ban you right now, bro. I'll ban you right now, bro. I'll ban you right now,
Crazy,
bro.
bro.
I'll ban you right now, bro. I'll ban you right now, bro. But yeah, Bob does say hello. In any case, Vinland Saga, read the first volume,
Yes, sir.
of like
Book
16
club time.
chapters. 16 chapters of Vinland Saga. Very good. Very good. I'm somewhat familiar with Vinland Saga because like I tried to get into the anime a little while ago. So it feels like almost like a lot of a refresher course for me. But I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not mad at the refresher when the shit is, this solid all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very 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 pleased with what we got so far. Um um Thorfinn, like, bro, angry revenge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, bro.
Yeah,
That's gonna be that's a goat, bro. That's a goat, bro. That's a goat.
Okay, so little note for you guys: we both read it physically, because we just had the physical volumes on our shelves, just waiting to be read. I don't know about you, bro. The art in Vinland Saga on paper was so clean, like no broken paneling, just really smooth. The spreads were just sick as hell. And the art was just banging.
Yeah, I think Vinland Saga is a very aesthetically pleasing manga. Very good, very easy to read through for sure, for sure. I will say, Thor's Askeladd and Thorfinn are obviously the standout characters thus far.
Mm-hmm.
Askeladd, to me, based on what I remember from when I watched the anime, has a lot more charisma to him in the manga. I don't know.
Yeah, bro, he's really
I like
charismatic.
him. I like him quite a bit. I like, aside from like being an evil, pillaging asshole that,
Mm-hmm.
killed Thor's and it's like ruining
Mm-hmm.
Thorfinn's life or whatever, right?
He's
Pretty interesting guy to read about for sure. Um,
definitely has like some kind of honor underneath all the marauding that he does. And it's really cool. Like in the God, dude, his whole fight with Thor's was like captivating as hell, and especially the end where he honors the deal and him admitting defeat. I don't know. It was just really cool.
yeah, very,
Yeah.
very cool. Thor's was also cool.
Oh, he was sick,
I
bro.
know we're gonna I
Fuck,
know we're
bro.
gonna get more of him.
Mm-hmm.
So like through like flashbacks and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Like, oh my god, bro, wasn't Thor such a strong guy or whatever? Um, so I'm excited to see that. But yeah, honestly, this was like a very, very, very good introduction. Like very
Mm-hmm.
sets the tone really well. I just thoroughly enjoyed it. Thorfinn, like I kind of have um like a little bit of insider trading knowledge on like where the character goes just due to it being like such a like a popular
Mm-hmm.
meme or whatever. But I'm not mad at that. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how he gets there.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
When
et cetera, et cetera.
Thor said, "You have no enemies," mm,
Yeah.
that shit was so raw, dude. I don't know, like the context of Thor's as a character. First of all, he's cool as hell, but just like the anti-war stuff he wears, like this like weariness to him that I think is conveyed exceptionally well in the art and in his dialogue.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. For sure, for sure, for sure. Um, I do agree. I think when he asks, he's like, who are your enemies then, right? And there's no answer for that.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I like what I'm seeing so far. Unlike a certain other manga that we've read, I'm very engaged and captivated from the start. Like I'm interested. I want to read more.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, Oh, Black, thank you for the 5. I remember my teacher gave us certain Riordan books to read in the 6th grade. I got The Lost Hero, and it was the path to experiencing peak. Congrats, man.
Yeah.
Congrats.
WWWW. And let's see. Sleep Hut, thank you for the 10. Gotta drop 10 to the best podcast on earth because Kagurabachi dropped the best chapter of the week. We're gonna lock back in on this era as a real manga renaissance. Happy to be experiencing with BR and the creamy one, apparently.
That's
That's
new.
crazy, bro. I wouldn't let that slide personally, but
That's
that's whatever.
I mean that one's new. I'll give him points for originality. Never heard that one before. So, um, God, bro, I'm locked into Vinland Saga. I think it made a strong, very strong first impression. It's definitely one of the easiest ones we've gotten into with book clubs. So I'm excited to see how the rest goes. Um, I might even buy like the rest. I might finish the collection finally. Um, but that remains to be seen.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how volume two. I'll see how volume two hits for me. But yeah, man, I liked it. I liked it a lot. Not too much insight, only one volume in, right? And a lot of it's stuff that like I'm kind of already somewhat familiar with. But I did
How
like it. I enjoyed it.
how much of the anime did you get into? Like, how much did you watch?
I don't know the episode count. I just know that I was familiar with everything I read up to this point.
Okay,
Um,
because
if not like, yeah,
it was all new for me. So, cool,
yeah.
cool. I'm excited to see where we go from here. Peak. All right,
Peak indeed. Indeed.
let's do this. Jujutsu Kaisen time. Sorcery fight time.
Yep, yep, yep. Midlife crisis time. Yep, 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 yep.
What is happening?
Man.
You know,
I mean, Sukuna. That's what
yeah,
Sukuna's
yeah.
whole
Was
thing was.
that was. I'll admit, man.
Hands on the hips, arms
Yeah.
crossed. Bro said,
Got him thinking about his entire life on the battlefield.
Let me
Like,
ponder real quick.
yeah, like it's so funny, right? Because, like, people are like, oh, did Gege make Sukuna soft now? Is this how he's gonna get defeated? Right? But I'm just like, listen, man. Sukuna momentarily caught himself potentially having like any kind of emotion for another person, and immediately decided to end the world. I don't think he lost any villain stocks. I don't think he's like this is not the start of Sukuna's like turning good arc. That is, I don't think that's what's happening here.
Like, remind me to never ever even look at your timeline, because I haven't seen one person say anything to that effect, and I'm glad that I haven't, bro. That shit sounds dumb as hell. But yeah, one thing I will say that's just kind of like interesting, before we maybe get into the more intricate character parts. I think Sukuna's hand is like smoking the entire time that we see it.
I noticed that.
Higuruma stabbing it might have done a little bit more. Like, if that like killed his hand or some shit, like whatever that would mean, like I don't know, maybe its soul is dead on some like, boogie woogie, like my technique is unusable. That would be interesting. I mean, let me see. Hold on. Does
he's been
Okay,
crossing
it's his
them.
right
Yeah.
upper arm.
So I mean, he crossed it, and then it was sort of out of panel, or like Gege like obfuscated it. So I don't know if he was hiding it directly or just that was the way Sukuna was sitting, coincidentally.
Yeah.
But I did peep that as well. I saw somebody again on my timeline mention like their theory wasn't so much that Sukuna couldn't heal it back because of like the sword, but it was some kind of cursed energy problem, or like he was straining himself. I don't know about that one. He hasn't really. It's hard to gauge how much energy Sukuna has used so far against like post fully reincarnating into his Hainen form, but I feel
I mean,
like
it may just be a
lot.
precedent for, and it might not have to be that if his brain isn't fully intact.
Oh, you don't
So
think that
I
like
know.
insta healed? Because he hasn't used a domain either. Yeah, now that I think about it.
I mean, like, I'm not saying I don't think it's insta heal, but I'm saying like, if we take, because I just checked, the arm that he uses to like slash at Yuta is the arm that's like smoking. It's like his right upper arm.
Hmm.
Um, but anyway, so like we know he can still use it, and the hand is fully healed, right? The hand is fully healed very early on. The only thing I'm saying is that like it's smoking for a very long time, whereas like with Yuji, right? After he uses RCT, the smoke stops. Like I think Demon Nakatsu brought it up. Like I know that RCT and smoke go hand in hand. What I'm saying is that the fact that Sukuna's hand isn't just smoking like while it's healing, even even like up to when he like consumes Kenjaku's plan thing, his hand is, you can still see in that small panel, his hand is still smoky. His hand even looks a little damaged when he's like slashing at Yuta, when he like covers it in cursed energy or whatever. I'm just very interested into what that may be. And Liv brought up a good point when I talked to her about the chapter. But Higuruma's arm that was still like half cut off or whatever is like fully grown back by the time that like Wee and Kurara come to pick him up. Like he has both of his limbs back. So it makes me think that like, because when Sukuna like actually makes contact to use cleave to like splice him up, Higuruma still doesn't have his other arm or not fully grown back. So motherfucker was still healing that shit while he was being damaged. So that's pretty interesting. Maybe leads me to believe that Higuruma is gonna be a factor again. Surprise, Yuji wasn't able to kill Sukuna with the Executioner's Blade, like literally everybody expected.
Yeah,
but, it is what it is.
It is funny though, because I remember also talking to Liv about this, where I was like, you gotta give Gege credit as a writer for making that a non-issue. Like, I remember people were like, going to bat about like how Yuji would deal with Sukuna with the Executioner's Blade in his hand, only for the chapter to drop and it to like not fucking matter, right? Because the attention instantly shifted to Sukuna's like existential crisis more than any attention on the blade, right? Like after the chapter dropped, the discourse was mainly like, dude, hands on the hips, thinking about his like it wasn't the pressing thing anymore. And I really enjoyed seeing kind of not even Gege sidestepping it, but it was like it was never going to be this like very big thing, right? It was used as a way to show Higuruma's lifeline ending, and we also got like a factor. We also got like sort of passive confirmation that that wasn't Yuji assimilating the sword into his body or whatever. That was still like Higuruma trying to maintain its like essence while he was fading. So I think that not working, and then what is it like? It sort of bounced off Sukuna. Was like it was like one panel or like maybe a page of answers, and then we quickly moved on. So I don't know. I just found I found the cold water, or I guess like the switcheroo, funny, just personally.
I don't know, man. At this point, I don't even know if I call it a switcheroo. Like everybody knew, ain't shit getting
I
done
meant
with this.
the switcheroo on attention, not the switch. Like just like a. I was expecting like him to dodge it or whatever, and then my timeline to be like fraud, plot armor man, typical shit. And the fact that it was just sidestepped, it to me is like cool or like noteworthy. I don't know. Thought it was neat.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, but yeah, we get that. It looks like Yuji can kind of like see the slashes. Someone Shads on Twitter, if y'all know him, brought it up on my feed, but like Yuji seems to be the only person. I think maybe does Mahoraga do it too? I'm not sure. But like
I think he does.
You know how like we get the gray tone slashes, but then he like blocks it pretty aptly. So it's like, okay, Yuji. Okay, Yuji. It seems like maybe if you're not even like consciously seeing them, you're at least blocking the attack. Like knowing where it's gonna go. Even if it's still doing damage and whatnot. And let's see, if I look, then yeah, Mahoraga kind of gets the same depiction visually, the gray tone, and then into actually the attack landing for sure. So that was cool. That was cool. Confirmation that like the reason we hadn't seen Gojo's body is like teleportation. I just like the little the practicality of having Kurara go with Wee Wee, because like basically making it so they can't be touched very quickly. Like blitz attempts won't work, essentially, or blitz attempts are much less likely to work with Kurara's technique and Wee Wee's. So that's cool. That was nice. And then obviously one of the bigger things of this chapter, Yuji reverse curse technique. It's finally been confirmed. We know he's been healing. We know he's been evolving somehow, but it's confirmed he's got reverse curse technique. He learned it over the course of a month. W Yuji.
Yep. Big moment for our boy Yuji. Beating the water boy allegations. I'm so happy for him, bro. I was grinning ear to ear the second Sukuna said in 1 month. He was not impressed. He was mad as hell, but I was fucking impressed, and I couldn't be happier. Oh god, dude.
I said beating the allegations as if you weren't the allegations, but
and he proved me wrong, bro. I'm proud of him.
As usual, yes sir. Shoko catching another fucking stray is kind of crazy. Gege really letting us know, do not expect her to fucking heal shit. I thought that was pretty funny. Because on top of like Sukuna just being like, yeah, Shoko's RCT isn't nearly as good as me and Gojo's, and healing other people is like half as effective as healing yourself. I'm like, god damn, bro. I mean, it makes her it makes her canonically less of like it makes her less, what's the word I'm looking for? Loserish, I guess, because like you have like you have an in-series reason for why it's harder for her to heal like limbs and shit, right? It's like the efficacy of like curse energy output is or positive energy output is like much more difficult when you're doing it for another person. To me, what I instantly thought back to is it makes Yuta even more impressive, because like what he did when he healed Maki was like, dude, half of her body was fucking like mangled and bloody and like a pulp. So Yuta just kind of like on the fly being like, yeah, I'm gonna heal you real quick, I got you. And like that being entirely positive energy output healing another person, that very crazy, very crazy. So little sly Yuta stocks before we got the real Yuta stocks for sure. Let's see, and then obviously, yeah, Sukuna shit, very cool. I mean, of course, bro thought to back to his biggest fight, right? He thought back to Jogo. He was like, holy fuck, bro. God. I gotta think back to like what I said when I was facing my strongest, most powerful, most worthy opponent. That was holding back, by the way. So that was cool. That was nice. And yeah, bro's like, you know, he's really gassing himself up, bro. Cause he's like, I'm so fucking great. I've never had to have any ideals, bro. I'm
And
so amazing. I've never had to do that.
mm,
The fact that your ideals, like your spirit is as strong as mine, while you're like so physically inept, pisses me off.
yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
kill you for that.
And
I'm gonna shred everything that your hopes are for that. I'm like, damn,
Bro,
okay,
I
for
even love
real.
that Sukuna checked. Like, he was looking for a way out, even in his own internal monologue, and he was like, "No, unfortunately, like I know this guy inside and out because we shared the same soul, right? Like, fuck, bro. I know like how tenacious he actually is. Like, I can't just like fucking speculate and just call him a bum. And I know he was mad about that. I know he was mad about that, bro.
Yeah. Um, which I think lends credence. I think this is what I was saying last week or last JJK chapter. That there's something about Yuji, particularly like a character trait that he has that is like aggravating to Sukuna, like
Mm-hmm.
one that is actually valid that he wants to deny.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool. I think to
Um,
have that be confirmed, that's nice.
to me, I don't know if did you read this as like an opening of sorts, like a chink in Sukuna's armor, or because like he kind of addressed it more or less by by triggering the Culling Games event thing. But I don't know. This is the quote unquote most vulnerable Sukuna has been emotionally since like Gojo's purple.
Since Gojo's purple,
I'm
what the
it's
fuck?
it's not like there's not many examples. That's just the closest thing I could think of when the
I mean,
narrator
fair
is like,
enough. I guess I was just trying to think of like, is that emotional vulnerability? I mean, I guess so.
again, like the next best
Uh,
thing. Like that is the only other example I thought of off the top of my head for Sukuna. If you
Fair.
yeah.
I mean, I would have just said this is the only time he's been
Yeah.
emotionally vulnerable, but that's just me. I agree, but it seems like his conclusion is like even more resolute and like I'm not just going to like passively do this. Now I'm making it my active goal to like I was kind of destroying you and everything that you knew and loved like passively, right? As a result of you guys existing in my world. But now I'm going to go out of my way to cut you down
Mhm.
and whatnot, right? Now, I think it can go one of two ways. You can either go the Toji route where like he's deviating from his true self, like you know how Toji's like, "Oh, I'll fight you, Gojo. I got something to prove," and like he literally monologues about like, "Yeah, that was the worst decision of my fucking life." Like that was I literally like he literally makes himself weaker, right, by doing that bullshit.
Mhm.
And I could see Sukuna maybe getting caught in the same trap. But on the other hand, it could also just be like he's now deciding that this is what he wants to do, like still going by his own whims. He's like, no, I'm not going to deny my passion.
Mhm.
I've now just decided my passion for today is crushing everything that you care
Mhm.
about.
Yep.
Sounds cool.
The thing this chapter reminded me of was that scene from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where he's like, "Bro, I'm catching feelings again." You know, like a 14-year-old girl. You guys, you remember feelings, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, totally, bro. You understood that reference. Look at you.
Yep. Um. In other news,
Uh,
Kusakabe is a funny guy, man. Bro was really like, I could live with Sukuna, but a Sukuna who wants to use the merger, God damn it, bro. I didn't want to fucking.
yeah, Kotsakabe continues to do goat shit. Yo, I'm so curious. I'm so fucking curious. Passive confirmation that Kenjaku is fully dead. How we feeling?
Hold on. Before that, I need to get to much more pressing news. Um, Gege is such a funny motherfucker, man. You
Okay.
really, it's the reason I say that is because this dude has like, and I'm not a professional mangaka, right? So I'm not really shitting on him, but I kind of am. But like, dude, your sense of like detail and shit makes it so hard to determine whether or not like small details mean anything, right? And maybe that sounds a little dramatic, right? Maybe that sounds like a little crazy out of left field, but I was just looking for what Kusakabe said, bro. And it's like I'm just looking and I'm like, okay, you know how when Ino shows up, like when the sorcerers from Jujutsu High, and it's like our heaviest hitters, Ino, Choso, and Kusakabe, and then like we see Ino, right? You know, Ino's eye was fucked up before,
Mm-hmm.
but it's his right eye that's usually fucked up. And in this panel, his right eye is healed. Tell me why I look at the most recent chapter and his right eye's fucked up again, bro. I'm like, Gege, it's like a small detail of like, oh, did he get like RCT that actually helped him, or is his eye still fucked up? I just say that because it's like small details like that make me wonder, like, when I'm looking too much into something and Gege just didn't draw a thing consistently, or when Gege is actually trying to allude to something greater. Either way,
Mm.
found that endlessly hilarious. As for Kenjaku being dead, like permanently, I think he's going to have some like actual character implications moving forward. But I mean, if this is the passing of the torch of main villain to Sukuna, I mean, I'll say one of two things, right? One, I'm glad, and two, I mean, I thought this was kind of obvious, right? One villain shares a very explicit dynamic and relationship with the main character
Mm.
established since the very first chapter. The other doesn't, right? Um, Personally, like I could be proven wrong. Kunjaki could come back and take over Sukuna's body. I don't fucking know. Whatever Gege wants to do, right?
Mm.
But I'll just say, to me, it wasn't rocket science that the motherfucker who had a relationship with the main character was going to be the main antagonist. No, that's just kind of how I saw it.
Mm.
If he got now, if this is the end of him, and his last fight was
Takaba, yeah.
Takaba and Yuta, the motherfucker he said he wasn't worried about, cut like just fucking quote unquote blitzed and one shot him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we gonna have to have some conversations about Kenjaku, bruh.
Um.
And Yuki, we gonna have to have some conversations about Yuki.
Okay. Okay.
Never mind. But I mean,
I mean,
yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I mm, I'm curious. I think if assuming this is okay, thought experiment, right? This is the Kenny's dead. This is it. That was the end for him. That last my will be carried on. Last thing of him in the series, right? Um, we like that. Like the this is good.
I'll put it like this, right? I don't give a fuck because I like Kenny's cool. He has moments where he grows on me,
Mm-hmm.
right? When I get into my like evil, creative Jujutsu sorcerer bag, like
Mm-hmm.
I rock with it, right? But to me, I don't care, but that is ass. That's how I put it, right?
Okay.
I am completely detached from the outcome. Like I'm fine with him making that decision, but like sort of evaluating it in the same way I'd evaluate other characters, that is assuming literally nothing else, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I'm not saying this is the case. I don't even think that's the case, right? Which is why I'm reserving any judgments at all because I just don't believe he'd do that with Kenjaku, right?
Mm-hmm.
But to engage in your thought experiment, I guess like at face value, I think that would be like very fucking stupid.
Okay.
Um,
Because I don't know if I believe this is the end of Kenjaku or
it's not. It can't be.
yeah, right. Okay. So this is sort of like I wanted to get your opinion
But
first because like I don't want to sound like a fucking hater, right? It's more like a passive it's sort of like the Nobara conversation we had where we're like if Gege doesn't pay it off then it is bad kind of things. So for me it's like if that was just the end of Kenjaku and this is like it then bad. I don't know, like at least for me, like I odd ending, I guess, to essentially this other series antagonist. I was just curious, like where you aligned.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would agree. Um, Especially since he was like also an antagonist ender,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like you can't, to me, and I know people have changed their minds on this. I'm still of the opinion I like Mahito more. Fight your grandma about it, right? Whatever.
Fucking hell.
But to me, it's like, okay, you're an antagonist ender. In my opinion, the best antagonist the series has seen, right?
Mm.
And you go out. Like, I'm not even saying he's to go out like a badass, right? Mahito didn't go out like a badass, but he kind of went out. You know what I mean? He went out with like a villain. You know what I mean? He went out on screen. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, Kenjaku had his head cut off on screen, but I just feel like there's a lot of shit that could be explored with Kenjaku. That is sort of weird to not even like address in any way, shape, or form by just being like head lop off onto Sukuna, right? Like I said, I'm like present in like a Megami being gone forever, an Obara being gone forever, this character, that character, right? It's kind of gone here because it's not like I don't give a fuck about Kenjaku like that. This isn't coming from a place of like yearning for to see more. I would be fine if we didn't, right? Like if we just we just really went hard on Sukuna's characterization like we did this chapter, I would be completely fine.
Mm.
I would be no worse for wear personally. However, I don't necessarily think that even makes sense, right? But the only issue I have, not even issue, the only question I have is like, how the fuck are you gonna do anything with Kenjaku?
Mm.
But I guess we'll see, right? This is one of those, because I'm not emotionally invested. I'm entirely willing to play this by ear, because like I said, explicitly, because I don't care about Kenjaku. If
Mm.
this was Yuta, right, and like Kenjaku like off screen him, and Yuta's like, my will live on, and then it's just like kind of implied he actually died off screen, I'd be pissed, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would be pissed on top of thinking it's dumb. Whereas here, I'm not pissed. I just think it would be dumb if he doesn't follow up.
Okay,
Um,
yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. Because like I'm deliberately avoiding making any kind of definitive. I don't want to lock in an opinion, and then like fucking Kenny comes back in some way, and I'm just like wearing the clown nose more than usual, right? So that's why it's like a tentative thing for me right now. But
Yeah.
it was something that crossed my mind when Yuta appeared with no stitches on his forehead. Still funny, man.
Yeah.
It's just so fucking funny to me. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let
So
me run through these super chats real quick.
oh yeah.
Jaden 3011, thank you for the 5. I fucking called it on Sukuna being the person who'll inherit Keddy's will. So that's be their backup plan, by the way, a few streams back. Well, thank you for the 5 and congratulations, bro. Apollo gifted you
Yep.
his fucking foresight. And Jaden
Congrats.
3011, thank you for the 5 again. I think I also called it on the reason UG doesn't hit, being that like the sword dissipates before it makes contact. I vaguely remember people mentioning that. I could very easily see that being you, yeah.
Yeah, I mean
Let's see.
the general vibe with that is just like nobody thought it was gonna hit. Like you had to have thought JJK was ending in like 3 chapters for the sword to work in my opinion.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Lemillion,
Let's see.
thank you for the 10. It's funny that Sukuna's first thought when he saw Yuji's stomach was healed and not the possibility of Yuji learned reverse curse technique, but Ui teleported him to Shoko.
Yeah, like his immediate thought was, oh, he got sent there, and he's like, oh fuck, Shoko can't even do that.
Yeah.
I guess this motherfucker learned himself.
Yeah.
Um,
like dude, like
yeah.
he went through all 5 stages in like a very short amount of time, and he didn't end on like acceptance, he ended on like more anger.
Yeah, well, he accepted that shit. He's like, I'm just gonna destroy what I just accepted,
Yeah.
though. Appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Yeah.
Shout out you, bro.
Ash
You
Bear-
inspired me.
Yeah, Ashbarian, thank you for the 5. I'm calling it. If by some miracle Yuji and Yuta beat Sukuna, he's gonna activate the merger with his last swords, making it significantly stronger. Can I say something that's potentially a hot take? If one of the characters that we're already familiar with is not like the face and personality of the merger, I don't want to see that shit.
What do you mean?
Or not even I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see that shit be the final antagonist. I'm not interested in some super blob that like has no personality and is just like an amalgamation of cursed energy being the last thing our characters fight. I think that's kind of boring, personally. Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like I'm saying, if Sukuna isn't heading it, if Kenjaku isn't heading it, if Mahito or Jogoot aren't heading it,
I see.
a little bit of a.
So
I gotta whisper that one under my breath, right? Because I don't really believe that. But like, if a character or just an interesting fucking personality isn't piloting it, and it's just Oonga Boonga big curse, I'm personally like, I get it. The story's been building up to a lot. I'm not saying it's a bad decision to do it. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. We'll see. But I'm personally just not interested in Oonga Boonga big curse blow shit up. Like it's just that just doesn't seem very engaging to me. I'm not. I don't know.
You're not a fan of the blue streak in the sky mentality. I got you.
I don't even know what that fucking means, but sure.
It's like an old reference to like you remember in the 2012 to like 2015 era, like think Avengers. There's a giant blue light in the sky, and they just like had this big climactic battle from like a massive beam appearing, that kind of shit.
Yeah, sure. But basically like that. Let's see. Matthias Alves, thank you for the 2. Yuji's durability plus RCT equals Hakari on jackpot. This is some elite fucking hating, bro. I'm gonna be real. I respect it though. I do. I respect it, but like even as a Hakari hater, I'm not gonna say Yuji would lose, right? I don't know how Hakari would stack up right now. Like Yuji's blocked a couple of punches and attacks from Sukuna, which is impressive. But like what I'm saying is, I'm not gonna say Yuji is like with his like regular ass RCT is the equivalent of like Jackpot Hakari, even with his durability. Like
Mm.
that is elite. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like I'm not gonna say this here because I'm trying to be a little bit more serious, but don't get me wrong. On Twitter, that shit's getting used. Appreciate you for the argument, man. Appreciate you
Uh-huh.
for the
Uh-huh.
argument.
Anyway, Mazani, thank you for the
Um,
5. Who the fuck is Suguna referring to when he says spirit possession? Uh,
Either, in my opinion, either Yuji or Yuta.
yeah.
You could go for like a Hail Mary and say it's Megami, but I doubt it. I think he's talking about Yuji, maybe because of like soul prowess, right? Or
Mm.
Yuta because like I think Rika, you can maybe kind of like get a workaround there. Um,
Mm.
Especially let's see. Yeah, that's kind of how I'd see it. Um,
Mm.
but I can't really think of anybody else it would be, to be honest. Like I said, Megami could be a Hail Mary, but like that's you got to twist and contort that statement a little bit in like the context to fit things that it doesn't really necessarily fit.
Mm.
So my guess is Yuji. Maybe he wants to like save Yuji for last because like really shatter his soul and shit. That's kind of where I'm at.
You
That's
know,
kind of where I'm at.
there is like a funny part of this chapter that I just want to quickly talk about. So
Mm,
Sukuna activated the merger, right? Or like continued, quote unquote, carried on Kenjaku's legacy because of
mm,
his introspection and like him observing Yuji's tenacity, right? It
mm-hmm.
almost makes me wonder, right? If he just successfully killed Yuji, is Kenjaku just dying like
I
unaccomplished?
mean, that's kind of
Like that was the implication,
that
right?
speaks that speaks to why Kenjaku made him so tough. No, don't you think? Like,
That's I don't know. That's some Aizen level shit. I don't know if I want to give that to Kenny like just like that, you know?
bro, take Aizen's fucking dick out your mouth for a second, bro. And I'm just saying, like, Kenjaku has made it clear multiple times that Yuji and Sukuna are very integral to what he's talking about, right?
Mm,
Every time he's like, every time the two are mentioned, Yuji is relevant because of his relationship to Sukuna, right? And you could view it as just being the vessel, right? But that wasn't really the case anymore, right? And that statement probably gets recontextualized a little bit. Kenjaku's known that Yuji hasn't been the vessel for a while. Like, it. I'll just ask you this, right? Is it more likely that Kenjaku was banking on Yuji's like toughness, or more likely that he was just like he had no idea what Sukuna's character was and thought he was just gonna die for no reason as a backup plan? Like at that point, just don't carry on your like, don't pass it on because you're giving it to somebody who doesn't care.
mm. Okay. That's I don't know. I just think a part of me just thinks it would be really fucking funny if like Yuji just died and Sukuna like the end result is Sukuna's kind of the last man standing, right? Because it has no material effect, really, right? Like it's the end of the world either way. Like if Sukuna wins directly with direct confrontation, right, by just beating them, or if he wins by like successfully getting the merger across, like the end result is still kind of doomsday. So I don't know. It was just like a passive thing.
Well, Kusakabe seems to think there's a difference. Like people survived in Sukuna's era. You know what I mean? People were alive in proximity to Sukuna in his era.
Hmm.
And that's why Kusakabe's like living with Sukuna in existence is better than living with the merger, because the merger, like, and Kenjaku specifically, because Kenjaku will do shit and, like he said, commit acts of Jujutsu terrorism indiscriminately out of curiosity. Sukuna's kind of just like, I mean, yeah, he'll do some shit on a whim, right?
Hmm.
But like the level at which he's going to do it is probably consistently going to be much less, right?
Hmm.
Noritoshi Kamo is the most evil sorcerer in history, not Ryomen Sukuna,
Right.
right? And if Kenjaku's the one piloting it, there's got to be a reason that Kusakabe is more comfortable with the stronger sorcerer surviving than the weaker one. You know
Gotcha.
what I mean?
Okay. That's also an argument. Okay. Uh, where did we? D's. Thank you for the 2. Sukuna doesn't know about Utahime buffing Shoko. Is she? She could theoretically, right? If she, that's not impossible. That can't not happen. That'd be pretty cool, honestly.
Shoku's gonna like double her reverse curse technique efficiency to get to like base level Gojo RCT, which is like a really funny thought.
Yeah.
Um,
But outputting it, which is like, I mean, if you can't do it at all, that's a great That's a good doctor. That's a good
Yeah, for
doctor
sure.
to have.
For sure, for sure. Can you yeah, and SM, thank you for the two. We kind of just addressed this. Can you him user technique, Bruce Shoko RCT? Maybe, probably, hopefully.
Maybe if Gakuganji's there, like on base, maybe that give it a boost.
Yeah, I saw this real quick, and I want to address it. Right, maybe it's the Kashimo defender in me. You know what I mean? But I gotta say this. People are saying like, so you're gonna forgot about Kashimo, blah blah blah. But it's like, by that logic, he forgot about Gojo too, because he doesn't like visually show up. It's just like a very interesting point to make. Like, in fact, I went back and checked, and the shit that he's quoting, like in the like when he's like, "I live as I befit my nature. If no one can grasp that, then that's their problem." That's literally just what he fucking says to Kashimo. Like word for word. Like it's not even like a paraphrase. He's just verbatim recalling something that happened.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Also, one thing I will say, this is for so some crazy. For real JJK readers like myself, right? I always knew this was the case, but this does confirm that the Jogo thing is indeed not a dream sequence. It actually happened.
Yeah, I
if you're
also
like Kreams, you had doubt, but
Oh my god!
like
I just said it. All I said was that it would be in character either way. Shut up.
And I'm saying it wouldn't, bro. And I was right. You were wrong.
Duck20, thank you for the 5. Yuta definitely gonna die next chapter for that One Piece guy reaction to the unreleased chapter.
I will bet every single fucking penny Kreams has earned and ever will earn that won't happen.
Shut the fuck up.
No, I'm betting it, bro. I'm putting it all on the line.
Bro,
I'm betting it all on
bro,
Yuta fucking Akotsu.
On BR's life, Yuta's gonna be fine.
Yeah, bro. And if he's not, we'll disband the podcast for real. That's a W. You know what? W wager. We're putting the podcast on it. If Yuta, no, bro. If Yuta dies next chapter, Honored Ones dies. All right. That's how much I believe in Yuta Agotsu. Yes, sir.
Anyway, KT, thank you for being a member for 3 months. Do y'all think positive energy in general disrupts a curse technique, or was that specific to Round Deer? I really wish Gege explored that more outside of the Yorozu fight. Look, man.
Positive energy outputted.
Yeah, I'm gonna address this thing in like a more in a more broad sense. This wasted potential conversation when it comes to JJK is it thematically it like tracks with the series, right? It's just keeping in touch with like Gege's writing, right? However, as a meathead, speaking only as a meathead, I would fucking love if he had shown us extended things, I would have loved to see Ishigori's domain and Yuki's, right? I'm not going to, like, we don't know what it does, but again, on a meathead level, I'd like to see that. But I don't think it's a waste that he didn't show that more with Round Deer and positive output. I'm bummed on a meathead level, but I don't,
Like, I'll say this. I think if Yuta put positive curse energy or positive energy into his blade rather and like touched the liquid metal, it would dissipate too, because she has to circulate curse energy through it, and the positive energy just dispels it. So it's not a trait specifically like native to Round Deer, but it's a trait that very few things in the verse have, right? So yeah,
I mean, like, I assume it would just be like how the effect it would be similar to Yuta touching Kurushi with it. He just sort of
correct, yeah.
Jane 2011, thank you for the 5. Twitter are gonna be hella funny if Yuta gets one chapter next week, bro. If you thought the farmer jokes for Kashimo were crazy, oh my god, Yuta. Oh my god, you're gonna have to go into hiding if you're a Yuta fan. It's simply not a battle you're gonna want to partake in.
I think I would drop JJK. I think I would actually, especially since I'm focusing on variety, bro. Fuck JJK for real. Like I think I would genuinely just put it down until someone tells me that Megami came back. And if that never happened, I never revisit it, bro. That's cool. That is what it is, bro.
So wait, does that mean the Kashimo thing burned some of your JJK goodwill?
I burned a fuck ton of my JJK. Bro, listen, I don't know who the fuck you think I am, bro. I'm not Liv, right? My JJK stamina is not boundless, right? There is a point into which I can say, you know what? I'll finish this manga because like I'm 250 chapters deep basically.
Mm.
But that doesn't mean I'm gonna read this manga weekly, right? Like you know the narrator when like Yuji's like fucking tweaking and Molly's supposed to run up in that Black Flash. He's like the loss to Choso, the death of the civilians, like all that shit's like it's literally gonna be like Megami getting possessed, no Gojo downtime, Kashimo's death, and Yuda's death all stacked up. Broken Ronin had reached his breaking point a long time ago. Like, bro, I'm not doing that shit. It's not even like it's just one of those things where I just have to quietly be like, yeah, I just can't. I just can't do this to myself anymore. One chapter. I'm not saying Yuta can't die. I'm not saying you can't struggle. I'm just saying Yuta enters and dies in 249. Yeah, me and
Bro.
JJK won't be fucking with each other no more, bro.
I swear
That won't happen.
I swear, if the next fucking
That won't
chapter ends with you, it starts with Yuta in the White Void, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. If Rika's like, "Yo, Yuta," fuck off, fuck off.
Yo, Yuta is insane, by the way. I'll say this. Here. Well, let me read through these super chats. I want to get through them so I don't feel like I'm gonna miss them. Okay. Dr. Cobalt, thank you for being a member for 1 month. What's good? Sorry I'm late, but Kagurabachi cooked a meal. Indeed it did, brother. Indeed it did. Anthony Cuevas, thank you for the 2. Gonna have to catch the VOD. Hope you're all good. We are indeed, and hope you enjoyed the VOD on the watch back for sure. Let's see.
Jaden 2000, thank you for the 2. Counterpoint: Kenjaku dying to Takaba, hella funny. Yes.
You got a cream sense of humor, then yeah.
Yeah, it's.
I'm calling it.
I just think like that's not the time to be funny, right? Like the fight was the funny time. I don't know about I don't know about the after. I don't know if that's like where we settle.
Yeah. Just some nerd. Thank you for the 5. We're looking at the win-loss record. I'm scared for Yuta because he has an undefeated streak right now, and he's going up against Sukuna. I don't see this ending well. Listen, bro, Yuta don't have to survive. He just can't get one chapter. I'm gonna be real.
CJ, thank you for the.
I'll say.
Oh, keep going.
Go ahead. I'll just say this, right? I'll say what I was gonna say because there were a fuck ton of super chats. There's only one other character in the series we've seen block a Sukuna slash straight up, and that's fucking Mahoraga after an adaptation. Gojo ain't do that shit. Kashimo ain't do that shit. Nobody is fucking clashed with one of his slices since a motherfucker whose ability is to adapt to every and all phenomena, bro. Like Yuta Agotsu is about to show the fuck out, bro. And nobody's saying he's gonna win. Nobody's saying none of that. I'm saying we're about to see a Yuta masterclass, bro. I'll say this: the longer this motherfucker doesn't put on the ring, the more assured I am in his win. Because I'll say this: I'm pretty sure I said it when the chapter dropped, right? But Kashimo using his technique the moment he starts fighting Sukuna was always a bad sign. I was fighting against it. You know what I mean? I was really hoping that wouldn't be the case. But you using your final ability so early on basically means it can go one way or the other on how long you last in the fight. And unfortunately for Kashimo, it went the wrong way, right? But with Rika being this fucking massive, partially manifested, like last time we saw Rika, her hands weren't encompassing Sukuna's body big, bro. Remember, she's also had big. Fucking month.
Yeah.
Yuda's also had a month. Yuji learned RCT in a month, right? How many people do you think Yuda's just gone around just fucking just munching on arms and shit, bro? Oh my god, I need this motherfucker to start pulling out crazy techniques, bro. Please. I need it, bro. I need it.
Dude,
I need it.
You know what's even crazier to me? Like, just even in addition to that month, they just saw like the fight of the century, essentially.
Yeah, bro. I need that. Yeah. I need that, bro. I need that so bad. Yeah. I need that so bad.
Bro, the fucking, if one of these motherfuckers, right? I'm calling it right now. If one of these characters hits Sukuna with like a barrierless domain or something, I'm gonna be so happy. Like,
bro, I need you to cook, bro. I need you to cook. Like I said, the podcast relies on it for sure.
Shut up. Let's see. CJ, thank you for the 5. How would you feel about JJK ending with Sukuna fighting the merger after everyone else died? Wouldn't the merger also just be with him? I think what you're asking me is
he doesn't have to merge with it.
Yeah. I mean, that was kind of the implication. I don't know.
Was it at all? I'll ask this: why do you think that Sukuna would merge with it?
So the exceptions were Kenny and Megami, right?
yeah, who Sukuna's
Right,
like.
right. Okay, never mind. Yeah. Um.
Yeah,
Still, I wouldn't. Yeah, Sukuna's just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play with you.
boring.
Yeah. Um.
Boring. I would like I'll read that shit, I guess, but that would be like very.
Like Gay would need to
I
spice it
can't
up.
see.
Yeah.
I can't see that being interesting personally, but yeah.
Let's see.
Um.
Jaden 2000, I'm thinking for the two. What if it's Megami's heading? What if Megami's heading the merger?
Oh God, bro, I'm rooting for the murder. The way I would switch up on everybody that he's known and loves,
That's
bro.
fucking crazy.
Fucking kill their ass, bro. Blow their ass the fuck up, please, bro. Listen, I don't think y'all understand. I'm not on the good guy's side. I'm on Megami's side, bro.
That's crazy, man.
Really,
What about
Megami could
Yuji?
say Sukuna. Bro, I get it. I love Yuji. I'm sorry, buddy. If Megami decides he doesn't want to be on your team no more, I'm not on your team no more, bro. I'm sorry. I apologize. Like I deep down mean that shit, right? I really do. I'd
Bro,
be conflicted, but
I'm
I'd be
surprised you
conflicted
haven't
standing.
been rooting for Sukuna this whole time. Damn.
Oh, bro, fuck Sukuna. What the fuck?
Nah, I mean,
whoa,
the
what does
second
that have to do
the
with
second he
anything I
took over
said, bro?
Megami's body, I thought that was like, I mean, I'm surprised you didn't just switch
Nah, bro.
allegiances right there, bro.
Nah, bro. It has to be Megami in control. Like if Megami's in control, like if Megami were to like fucking like just like dip out of Sukuna's body somehow, there's like two, there's Sukuna and Megami's like, you know what, Sukuna, I want to work with you. Bet, bro. Bet. We on Sukuna's side then. Kill their asses, bro.
So
Get rid of them.
We is nuts.
Like I mean, it just is what it is, bro. Like I'll tell you one thing. I'm a ride or fucking die, bro.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like you don't get to this level of like staunch Megami defending by being like a casual. It just doesn't happen. If Megami's heading the merger, we're heading the merger, bro. Like let's attack. Let's do it, bro. I'll run defense for you while you get used to your new abilities. Let's do it. Like let's go all the way. But
Let's
yeah.
see. That guy's super. Thank you for the 2. I find it crazy how Sukuna knows Rika as the queen.
Yeah, bro. He instinctually knew that he was facing an equal. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Obviously, right? I think like the serious answer is just he's been in Yuji and Megami's heads, so like he just probably picked up on that. Also, I'm gonna keep it a stack. I think Sukuna gets a kick out of Rika's title as the Queen of Curses. I think this is novel for him, and I think he's excited about it.
Yeah, I think so. Let's see. Kishkin, thank you for being a member for 5 months. Would you guys have preferred if Yuta had an actual fight with Kenjaku, or was fighting Sukuna more interesting? I wouldn't have been mad at both, personally. Mm-hmm. I think Kenjaku should have gotten his ass beat straight up for talking all that cash shit, personally. Yeah. But getting your head lopped off is fine. It's fine.
Because like,
but this Sukuna fight has to be gas.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm happy like with the quote unquote blitzing, because that's the best way. Like that's the best way Yuta could have answered without like having to directly show Kenjaku anything. Like, damn, bro, you called me a bum? Get up then. Get up.
Yeah.
Like
don't get me wrong, it's effective. Like from the storytelling perspective, I'm not saying it's dumb for you to not fight him straight out, but I'm saying personal like satisfaction. You said this motherfucker. You said he wasn't nothing to worry about, bro. Go and put your head back on. Put your head back on real quick, bro. Let's run it again. Let's try that shit again. But hey, bro, Kenjaku is quote unquote dead. So it is what it is. Mm-hmm. Listen, this Sukuna fight just has to live up. You know what I mean? It cannot be bullshit. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying.
DDS Soifit, thank you for the 2. Yuji over Ghetto is looking correct nowadays.
I mean, he's 6 feet over. Never mind. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't mind it. I don't know. Depends on how many curses Ghetto has. Shadowstar, thank you for the 5. Merger is gonna end up being Yuji, then it's him versus everyone else. While he's still aware of it all. Suffering builds character, bro. This might be a gay alt.
What? Yeah, dude. I'll nuke him myself. I won't let Yuji suffer like that.
That's fucking crazy, bro. Ash Baron, thank you for the 5. Kusakabe saw Kenjaku committing Jujutsu backshots as more dangerous than Heinen era Sukuna. Huh?
Oh, fair enough, bro. I don't even know what he's saying. It's a reference to what I was saying, like how Kenjaku is considered a more evil sorcerer than Sukuna.
Oh, right.
But yeah, Hansel Legato, Thank you for the 10. How do we feel about Gojo slash Higuruma's body being taken for Yuta to copy their curse techniques? When Suguna questions why and reasons it couldn't be for Shoko to heal them, this could be set up for Yuta to hit a red.
That'd be
I mean,
so
I'll say two things.
funny, bro.
One thing I'll say this, right? For one, it's a good thing to get their bodies off the battlefield when one of your opponents is a body hopper, right? Not getting rid of your very powerful, very technique reliant characters is what got Kenjaku and Geto's body, right? Dispose of these motherfuckers or make sure that you have them secured, right? But if Yuta pops up and he's like domain expansion deadly sentencing, let's run the fucking dual wield shits. And then he's like, all right, bro, hold on. Let me hit you with the curse technique reversal red. I'm jumping out of my seat and doing 25 backflips. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. I need that expeditiously. So yeah.
Jane 2011, thank you for the 5. I feel bad for all the Gojo revival believers. They're relying on Shoko of all things. Now it's so over. Look, bro, Shoko has been fighting fraud allegations of her own for the longest time, right? And if you want to assume Utahime is like giving her a boost with Gakuganji and like Gojo's sort of still maybe kind of alive, just enough for her to like undo the wound. If you assume all of this, and also, you know, Higuruma being in a similar boat with Rika, maybe, just maybe, I hear it, like you have to hear that, like you know what I mean, like you have to hear all of that, and you can't believe that, like, you know what I mean, like you don't believe that. I'm telling you, you don't believe that, you know, like you're just in denial. I would love for Gojo to come back because I'm a Gojo shill, right? But if we're keeping it a stack, right, so many things have to go right. I don't know, man. It's too implausible for me.
Bro, I am creating a prayer circle in the hopes that this motherfucker does not come back. I'm gonna be real, but
you're just a hater, though. It doesn't count. So
correct. But yeah, M3D. Let's see. Thank you for the 5. Just got back, but I want to see if y'all's interpretation of Suka's development matches up with mine. It's in chat. Basically that like he has to accept Yuji as like something worthy because his will matches is like equal to or potentially even greater than his own. Like the thing that's irking him is like he has to acknowledge Yuji directly. He has to like look him in the face. It's like, oh my god, you are, if not interesting, you are at least unique and different. And I know you're unique and different in a way that like other people I can't verify. Right. And that's the case. And yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Probably, yeah. Mazani, thank you for the 5. If that glorified silver medal gets one chaptered, we celebrate. That is such a crazy way to describe Yuta. Bro, what did he do to you, bro?
There will be no place to celebrate this, bro. You're gonna be celebrating on like No Up channel or something. Not here.
Glorified
I promise
silver
you're not gonna be
medal.
Celebrating here, bro.
Fuck, bro. Is this a Kenny alt? Damn.
I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro.
That's nuts.
Haters everywhere, bro. Haters everywhere.
Mazani, thank you for the 5. Oh, and by the way, the assured familiar face for the merger is isn't Tengen. Am I right? Is or isn't? I don't know. There's an N there. I'm gonna assume it. He meant is. Probably. It might look like Tengen. Might look like Sukuna. Who knows?
Yeah, fair.
M3D, thank you for becoming a new member. Gonna put a pin in that for the end of stream. Samar Nelson, thank you for the 5. If Yuta gets Sukuna to flinch without that ring on the agendas, I'll push will be filthy. As they should be. Never put Bumkari in the same sentence as my goat. Again, you had me in the first half, bro. The second half was too much. You lost me there.
No, listen, bro, I'm not even gonna make a claim. I'll just say this, right? One person pulled up to Kenjaku, and then one person proceeded to pull up to Sukuna. The other person pulled up to Arame. And I'm just gonna I'm not saying nothing. I'm just gonna put my hands up in the air. I'm gonna just keep going. I'm not even gonna argue with you. I don't even want to hear out a fucking different opinion. I'm just stating facts. King Nija, thank you for the 5. A cool theory I've seen is that the merger is similar to the human instrumentality project from Evangelion. JJK is filled with Ava references, so I see it. I could see that. I don't know how we reverse that shit, but I could see it for sure. For sure. Shoko is her. JJK fandom does not deserve her. Now, Demon Nakatsu, I very often like your takes and think you're like very insightful. this is one, caught my eye. I gotta say, I respectfully disagree. Shoko is crazy. Shoko's talented or skilled. Her
She's been stated to be
capital
skilled.
capital
Let's
H
let's calm down, bro.
capital H is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. King Nasha, thank you for the 5. A cool theory I've seen is that the merger is similar to the human instrumentality project from Evangelion, filled with Eva
I already read
riffs.
that, bro.
Okay, cool.
Jesus.
Cool.
Jaden
You'll
3011,
get
thank
kind
you
of
for
deep.
5. Urahime boosted Shoko being able to revive the dead or heal soul damage would be hella funny though. If by funny you mean like, haha, that's so ass, then yeah, I agree.
Soul damage is also just like too much, I think, because it's not like she's not like
soul damage, maybe not. Idle transfiguration, like okay, if you like Yuji hitting someone in the fucking ribs and you heal that, like okay, whatever, that's fine.
but like
whatever, I don't really care about that.
I don't know. Just for fun, right? We've been seeing this a lot. Are you against fully like the Utsuhime boosted Shoko thing? Not even for like a Gojo revival, just like broadly.
No, that's fine. As long as Gojo doesn't come back to life, I'm fine with basically anything. Like Gojo cannot come back is how I feel. Like Gojo coming back is like very shit. And also, like I'm not even gonna hide my biases. It's very shit and it goes against like personal agendas. So it's like it's a mix of both. Kishkin, thank you for the 5. BR, what do you find so interesting about Megami? Is it just his archetype or does his philosophy and the way he goes about things actually speak to you? I mean, partially the archetype is what got his foot in the door, right? But I like a lot about Megami personally. I think he is probably the most like interesting in the way of like there's something to me that's quite interesting about like a world full of characters that I think are very often like if they don't realize their potential, it's like due to circumstances or like a philosophy that doesn't necessarily come from a lack of like belief. Like Megumi not believing in himself, right? Or like sort of shortchanging himself, right? Thinking that he's insignificant is something that I think like in the way that he does it is particularly entertaining to see, right? You compare that to someone like Yuji who, doesn't think that they're personally very valuable, but has never really doubted his abilities, right? He's never really doubted his capabilities as a Jujutsu sorcerer. And he is someone that has like less of the, default tools, at least at face value than Megami. And so I think Megami kind of like being someone who has these things but doesn't have that Gojo mentality of like, oh, not only do I have him as fucking traits, but I actually am him too. And like him having these brief sparks. Like I think that's a very interesting concept. And I think the way it's handled is always interesting to me. I also like the tactical aspect. I like his technique. I like a lot of things about Megami. So the archetype is definitely like a good factor, but I wouldn't say it's even a large percentage of why now I like Megami as a character so much.
Yeah. I hear he's got unrivaled potential.
Yeah. Yeah. Shadowstar. Thank you for the 5. Now that Yuji has RCT, let's see, hold on. Kari's hobo.
Why?
We'll have a real goat to cheer for finally.
Why do you? Okay, first of all, where is this Hakari hate coming from, bro? The line is always bet on Hakari. Where are you people sprouting out of? And how do I cut you off at the weeds?
The line motherfuckers made up, bruh. That shit don't come from the manga.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Look. Let me see Yuji pop up. Let me see Yuji pop off a domain. Let me see a technique. He's climbing the ranks, right? He's doing shit. He's a mover and he's a shaker, right? RCT in 1 month ain't nothing to sneeze at, right? It's impressive as hell. However, if I hear one more fucking one of you slander Hakari, all right, I'm gonna do something very ungentlemanly. You know,
chat $2 from Kreams' bank account if you slander Hakari again. Let's see.
Y'all, don't make me do something nefarious, all right?
He's about to say slur chat. Get down.
Fuck off.
M3D, thank you for the 2. Do we think Sukuna's brain is healed, by the way? Maybe. I don't know. Not enough information to really make a decisive or come to a decisive conclusion.
Yeah, it is interesting that Sukuna I'm choosing to believe it's because he's playing with his food, but it is interesting Sukuna hasn't just like malevolent trined his way out of this one.
I mean,
Hell, even the fire arrow.
I don't know, bro. I think you can just look at what type of person Sukuna is and then get that, bro. I'm gonna be real. He didn't. He's the type of person. He didn't. Jogo said, "Damn, I'm not using my domain." He's like, "Fair, cool, fine. I won't either." Like, I don't know.
I guess, yeah. I do
Yeah.
wonder about the fire arrow though. He's being like weirdly precious with that one, even with Gojo. I get it, but it is interesting.
Yeah, bro was just chilling.
Mm.
Bro was just chilling.
Is there anything?
But yeah.
Did we?
Nope. That's all the super chats for
Yeah,
now.
I'm excited to see Sukuna versus Rika, man. I'm really pumped to see how or why she's so much bigger, how it translates to like abilities for Yuta more broadly. And I'm gonna be so honest with you. I think if Gege doesn't do one chapter or like 2 or 3, knock wood, right? This might be a top 5 contender for a fight, bro. Yuta versus Sukuna is hotly debated since like fucking Shibuya.
Yeah. Yep. Some people were saying, "Oh my God, bro, you did get one shot by like Sukuna at 15 fingers," and it's just like, wow, the same one shot that Yuta deflected off his sword. I wonder who Kreams would say something like that. But anyways,
Bro, whoever said that, they handsome as hell. So I think the face tax goes
Not
hard
at
on that
all.
one.
Extremely beat.
Face card,
Busted.
Face card paying for that one.
Always declining, bro.
Okay,
no money on it. $0
Let's
and
fucking
0
relax.
cents, bro.
Let's relax.
$300 in the negative. No, that's crazy. Well, we're not talking about you, right? We're just talking about the person who said that.
Obviously, this hypothetical person.
Obviously, right? This hypothetical person, $1 million in debt. To be honest, face card, Jesus, yeah, they're getting their house repoed, bro. Jesus Christ, bro.
Oh my God.
Take their furniture, take their TV, take everything. But
anyway, this is a solid 8 chapter for me. So like, I think for me, just 8s across the board.
Yeah, I'll give this one an 8.5. I'll give this one an 8.5. It's pretty good. I place it at the same level. I've talked about the other chapters for sure. Bro, gassing up a cursed energy reinforcement slash. Yeah, you fucking dumbass. Yes, I am. You fucking moron.
Shadow Star.
Like, of course I am.
Thank you for the 2 Urame standout Hakari.
Yeah. WWW.
All right, time for something nefarious. All right, here we go.
By the way.
What?
Matthias Alves, thank you for the 2. By the way, Jogo on current Gege's art looks amazing. Jogo looks amazing all the time. So I agree.
Let's keep the plays to a minimum, bro. I had to give you a yellow card for that one. Let's not go into the red.
Yeah, I'm not taking that from a Gojo dick rider, bro. Shut up. Your goat's dead. Mine's still alive, transcendently, in the moments and memories of Sukuna. Gojo ain't show up once.
That's fucking wild.
He's a clown, a loser.
Anyways. Michael, there is no chapter next week, which is funny to do like a break week sandwich on Gege's part. We didn't get a chance to talk about this, but the Gege's editor's interview thing where he was just like looking at the chapter. I'm sure you've seen the screenshots around the timeline.
Yep.
How do you feel like? Do you have expectations?
None of my business, bro.
Okay.
I was nervous. None of my business no more. I don't give a fuck. Shit will happen whether or not this motherfucker looks surprised or not. I'm not worried about it. And when I say I'm not worried about it, it's not to say that like I don't think something big will happen that I'm gonna hate. It's more so that like I ain't stressing about it. When I see the shit, I'll see the shit. Fuck that guy. And fuck Gege if he made somebody react like that off of like probably like an individual page. I'm not happy.
Just some nerd. Thank you for the 5. It's so interesting to Mr. Love is Worthless versus Mr. This is Love for Real. Yeah. Yuta's a big ol' lover boy, so I'm curious to see Sukuna just be like love is worthless, not ours. Rika, give me anything. Splendid, very splendid.
Good episode. Great chapters this week. I was very, 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 very happy with them. But yeah.
So yeah. I guess like final housekeeping stuff. we've been, BR and I collectively as Honored Ones have launched Honored Ones After Dark. Members have watched the first 2 episodes, and I would like to sort of apologize because okay, Thursday got weird, right? Thursday got a little weird. I'll be the second to admit it, because BR beat me to the punch, but whatever. However, that's not going out to the public. That's staying within like the members creators confidentiality agreement that's implicit that you all like, signed by watching it, right? I think we're all on the same page there. I trust you guys' discretion. And it was fun. It was fun. Weirdness aside. That being said, if you guys want to peep more normal Honored Ones After Dark episodes, we'll try to make them normal. You can do so in the new Honored Ones After Dark membership tier. We're closing the middle tier, I think by next Thursday. So I'm just giving anybody who's a member now that this is kind of like your warning that's closing soon. So yeah, that's we also have like another tier that's just for people who want to vote on the polls for what we read for book club and use the emotes. So that's the update on that. BR, it's your turn.
What he said, chat. I mean, yeah. If you want to be in the loop on probably some more craziness, I don't know why Kreams promised it'd be more normal. He's the one that makes it weird, so it's kind of uniquely interesting for him to do that. But you're going to be seeing a lot more episodes. I'm probably gonna do like occasional gaming stuff, like just stuff that we wouldn't normally do on the public episodes. So look forward to that, especially if you decide you want to become a member. And thank you guys to everybody that is a member right now. We appreciate you a lot. You make those episodes a little bit more tolerable for me personally. Thank you guys. I appreciate the support system there. Yeah, let's read these. I'm gonna read these last super chats and then we can kind of close out.
Yep.
So M3D, thank you for the 10. Gassing Hakari over Yuji is crazy, considering one of these characters is helpless if they're not jumping their opponent. You can't gas Yuji up. You gotta gas Soul Squad up. No, I don't. And Kilonzo, thank you for the 5. What if Gojo came back just to get waffled like Kashimo? It would make me very happy. That's the only way I can accept Gojo coming back.
That's just hating. That's just elite tier hating, bro.
Correct. Then thank you.
How many alts does Gege have?
No, that one was actually my ult. Sorry, my fault. But yeah, thank you, chat. Thank you for everybody that came out here. Appreciate you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the chapters as much as we did. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night.